Welcome to the Adelaide Footy League's Community Match of the Round.
Today we are broadcasting from Haslam Oval as the Pembroke Old Scholars take on Walkerville.
We thank our broadcast sponsors, Dartfish, Australia's most used coaching tool, Filming Footy, live stream and match day filming specialists, Sports Interactive, creating better players, one coach at a time, Catch.com.au, screaming good deals, Interchanger, run your interchange like the pros,
Adelaide Star Bus, here for all your sports transportational needs.
and Archie's Footwear. Please welcome your commentary team led by Vince Cosme and Tony, the coach's coach, Neil.
Well, hi guys, here we are at the big game today. It does not get any bigger than this. My name is Tony Neal and I'm joined with Peter Welsh. And first of all, Peter, you've got something special for us before we get into what the day is about.
Always bring something special for you, Tony. And today, around the country in the AFL, we stand tall and we congratulate Sean Burgoyne, 400 games. He'll work perfectly. And Sean, it doesn't get any worse than this. The Hawks put out this years ago. Looks pretty ugly, but not the way you play your game. Good luck, Sean.
That is sensational, Peter. And to things a bit closer, that's going to be worth a bit on eBay, actually. But we've got Pembroke versus Walkerville today, first versus second. That grandstand is chock-a-block. There's people all around the boundary line, and it's going to be live to our viewers all around Australia and around the world, because I know a lot of the old scholars like to get hold of this, and a lot of the Walkerville players come from the country areas as well. So I'm sure their parents and family and friends are along watching as well. So we welcome everyone to this huge game. Are we going to get any rain, do you think, Peter?
Yes, but what we will get is spirit from both of these combinations, because they're 1 and 2 and because there are boarders who are looking out the windows of where they live here. There is something that you can get a feel for if you are a boarder at a private school. I know from being back in Ballarat, and it's all good stuff when you know in the grandstand, etc., the cheers are for you.
Oh, that is sensational, Peter. You are pumped up, fair dinkum. And I'll tell you what, we've just about got the Ballarat weather, folks. We're coming back in a moment. We're going to have a look at a couple of interviews we've done with Nathan Woods, the Pembroke Old Scholars coach, and, of course, Ryan Madden from Walkerville. We'll be back shortly.
Well, we're just about to get underway with our match of the round game between Pembroke and Walkerville. But first, we're joined by their senior A-grade coach, Nathan. Nathan, welcome.
Thank you. Cheers.
And once again, we do meet because we did cover you guys earlier on in the year against Morfordville Park. And since then, you've only had the one loss, so you've picked up some pretty good form.
Yeah, we're travelling nicely. We had a loss against Mitcham when we were away there. But, today it was a real challenge playing Walkerville. And, it's a big game today, so we're really focused on getting the job done today. So.
And earlier on in the year, you guys actually went down to Walkerville by a few goals. Has that result been an area of focus on what to improve on for this game?
Yeah, well, we got a couple of injuries early on last time we played them, which hurt our rotations a little bit. But they did get the jump, and they played some pretty good footy. They probably kept us in it with poor kicking, but we managed to peg them back and have a chance to win the game in the last quarter, but just fell a bit short. But we know they're a really good side and bring a lot of pressure and heat. So we're going to have to be at our best, and it's going to be a big challenge for us today. So,
any big changes for this one?
We had a couple of guys out last week, our centre half forward and one of our key backs. We both had exams, so for them to come back in the side is really important. And also we've had a guy back from a knee injury. Last week he played his first game back, and he'll be better for the run. Matty Fowles on, and we're looking pretty strong at the moment. So fingers crossed we can start well and get the job done today.
I'll let you get back to it. Good luck.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Hi folks, we're about to get started with our match of the round between Pembroke and Walkerville, but first we're joined here by their player, senior head coach Ryan. Ryan, welcome.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
So last week you guys had a very big win after a loss the week before against Mitchell, I think. What was the biggest thing in motivating your guys for that win?
Look, coming off a loss, you always want to make sure you bounce back and bounce back really well. We had that loss against Mitcham. They're a good footy side, and it was just important for us to go back to our structures and do what we like to do best, and we were able to do that last week. And today, much the same, coming up against a really strong footy club in Pembroke. They're strong through the grades, and we know playing them here at their ground, they're equal top, sitting top on percentage, so we know, and we played them last year in finals, we know it's going to be a massive challenge again today for us.
And the match-up between you two teams earlier on in the year, you guys got the better of them, but does that factor in today?
Oh, look, I mean, it's always nice to know that the last time you played against a side you had the win, but I'm sure they'll be just as confident. They're playing really good footy. They've had some good wins recently, and both sides, I think, will come into the game reasonably confident. So, look, it was 9 or 10 weeks ago, so I don't think it will have a heavy impact. We know each other's games reasonably well. We've played against each other a bit over the last couple of years, so it'll be a good game of footy.
Any big changes coming into today?
No major changes. We've, as always, there's always a few guys out of the side. I think everyone in this competition is never at full strength. So, but we're happy with the side. We've got a really well balanced side. We're confident with the team we're going in with today.
Well, let's get back to it. Good luck for today.
Thanks very much.
And welcome back, and I'll tell you what, it's a very close finish to the B-grade game as we speak. We're just about at the end of the game here, Peter, and it's 6 points the difference in favour of Walkerville. But more pressing is our main game, and you've got some interesting statistics for us to go through, Peter.
Tony, when I come to a game of football, what I look for most of all is full forwards kicking goals. Forster's got 70 for Pembroke, and Proud's got 55 for Walkerville. And the thing about it is that Forster was connected with the Dockers, and boy is he playing so well. And Pembroke are just so consistent. They've dominated the competition. They won in round 3, and we go into this game, and I reckon it's a toss of the coin job.
Wow. So, yeah, some really good stuff there. And like you say, toss of the coin, and we'll get to that when we go through the tips. I'll tell you what, this game has got absolutely everything on it. We've gone through some of the win-loss records over the past few weeks, which we'll come to a bit later. But at the moment, we're going to go into some of what I believe are the keys to the game. And of course, the first one we're looking at is it's an elite level performance because they're two top teams, and a sustained skill execution under pressure is critical to the result. Now, having said that, the cricket pitch in the middle is quite muddy and a couple of little patches around the outside, so playing to the conditions. The second one is, will we see a forward line shootout, as you've alluded to, very much so, with both teams having a leading target. Pembroke, of course, Alex Forster, and we're going to mention that throughout the commentary today, 70 goals. Walkerville, Adam Proud on 55, so a really good shootout. The third one, good players are remembered for performing in big games. You can be in the best players in the so-so games, but it's these games. Test yourself out against the best, and we need a combination of players providing a four-quarter effort, first of all, bursts of brilliance, and those things will have an impact on the result. So you might see someone maybe have a good 5 minutes or a good 10 minutes, kick 3 goals, and that could be the win to the game.
And I stumbled across some information when walking in earlier on, and there was a very, very keen Pembroke supporter who said, don't forget to mention James Allen. Yes. And I looked at him and he said 3 Magarey medals whilst playing for North Adelaide. He's still running around. He's got the engine. Make sure you look out for this young fellow, but number 16, Jimmy Allen. And I reckon there are a lot of those players who are just in and out of all of the combinations that we'll see each weekend.
And they had the numbers on the website, of course, yesterday, and he is number 16 on there. And I see he's run out today. He did this in the night game. He's actually now number 60, Peter, because he wears the long sleeves, and we're not going to have any problems with that, because if he can play well in long sleeves, then that is fantastic. So we're going to go to a short ad break now, and we'll come back with all the action.
So the Simon Black Academy is in 4 states. It's a 3-pillared program. So one is the education component through the Torrens University. Second one is the development of their AFL skills, helping their player to become the best player they can possibly be. But the third one is, as you mentioned, a leadership and growth program. So it's an academy that combines both education and Australian rules football. A perfect opportunity for kids who like football. They get exposed to AFL coaches, mentoring, but they also get their hand held as they do a university degree. So the first 12 months is a diploma in sports management elite, and if the students elect to stay on for a further 2 years, they end up doing what's called a bachelor in business management with a sports focus. Based out of Norwood Oval for a couple of days a week in the Arc at Campbelltown. Yeah, it's a fantastic program. So for anyone out there who's interested in getting on board, loves football, extend your education with a Torrens University degree, feel free, check out the website simonblack.com.au.
Check out Catch, where everyday Aussies are getting great deals, like Justin's Timber Rake, Sylvester's Cologne, Celine's Dijon, and Camilla's Pasta Bowls. For millions of products, everyday Aussies, check out Catch.
And we're back live, and we've got about 8 minutes until the start of the game. And I tell you what, the sun is out, but there is blanketing rain coming down as we speak, Peter. And now we're waiting on our boundary rider who's out there, waiting for the coin toss. He's out there in the weather, and we're going to cross to him in a moment. But what we'll go to first of all, 3 very important things. Our pre and post game is brought to us by catch.com.au. Screaming good deals. Live filming and matchday specialist is Filming Footy. But very importantly, we've had a great sponsor come on board, the Simon Black Academy. And wow. I've got a little bit of a spiel about it. Our friend Sean works for them, and fantastic they are, the academy. So I'll just go through. It's an academy combining both education and football, which is sensational. It's not just one component.
Well,
there are 3
loved
pillars.
Football, but I was never any good at education.
Well, listen up, because you'll get one right now. It's an opportunity to get a tertiary education whilst taking your game to a new level through highly experienced coaches and mentors. Simon Black Academy is about improving yourself, both on and off field, for a better future. So well done to the Simon Black Academy. I know they're having a lot of success.
Tony, you've been around, you know your football, you've been around Australia on many occasions and seen the very best. Whenever the name Simon Black is mentioned, automatically in my mind, it jumps into how good was Simon Black, the footballer. He was absolutely breathtaking.
Elite, yep. Peter, elite. Now, we've got our weather and our coin toss. So, through all the pouring rain, here is our great man, Nick Cosme, with the coin toss, weather and a tip.
I'll tell you what, the weather doesn't look that great so far, but despite that, the game should be a lot better than what the weather is. So Pembroke win the toss, looking to the left of screen, and as you can see, it is raining, so it might continue throughout the game as it is still overcast. A top of 13 and very muddy in midfield, as you could probably see behind me. There's a slight breeze to the left of screen, so Pembroke might use that wind to be able to get a head start in the first quarter. And for a tip, I'm going Pembroke in a close one by 2 points. Back to you guys.
Oh, Pembroke by 2. That's a very good tip. My own tip here is coming up, but I'll go to you, Peter, next. I've got manners just to see where you sit. Well, so have a look at the teams. They're getting ready. What's your tip for the game, Peter?
Well, I was trying to do homework, and I thought, how do you wrestle with what you haven't seen? Home ground definitely had the advantage for Pembroke. The two sides are so locked together, so even, both on 18 points. They head the competition, and two key gun forwards. To me, the difference a little bit, and you can help me with this, Tony, is Walkerville have got half a dozen forwards who've kicked double figures in terms of goals. Pembroke have got 2.
Yes.
They've got Forster with 70 and Isaac Twelthry with 25. I just have a slight leaning for the Walkerville Cats, but after I heard the Pembroke Kings singing their songs We're from Tigerland in one of the earlier games, this could be as close as some of the games that we've seen throughout the day as the drizzle continues and we are about to be rained on. But you are strong and bold and you'll work through this adversity.
We are. So what's your tip, Peter?
Did I give one then?
Did a lot of talking.
I know I did.
Pembroke or Walkerville,
can't see
mate?
anything. No, Pembroke for me.
Pembroke it is. What by?
By 15 points.
15. I'm going by 10 points. So we've got a lay-down was there, three-way for Pembroke. So look at them down here. The players are all getting ready because we've got the back line down here for Pembroke and the forward line. So players already, so they're to the right of the cricket pitch there. So it's a very short wing on the right and a long wing here. So the big fella there, Max Reid, is lining up. He's got the bun on top and he is all set to go as our boundary rider's got the brolly out. Okay, here it comes, Walkerville. Geez, they couldn't quite get that first ball, Peter. It went over the top, and I know we've got Cam, our stats man, today, but I think we're going to get a hell of a lot of ball ups. The wingers have now come in onto the pitch on this side of the ground as Walkerville now come forward, and we've got some nuances about this beautiful ground down here we'll come to later, Peter, as the ball is on the half-forward line now for Walkerville. No one really, we've had one kick in the game, so no one really getting an advantage there. It's so scrappy. And our umpires, he's paid, holding the ball, so Pembroke are away. This is Harrison George with the ball in hand, going down the wing.
Yeah, and there's a guarantee that I'll call in George Harrison during the day. I won't mean to, but I will. As the ball is paddled towards the boundary line on the half-forward line. That's to the opposite end as to where the swimming pool is. And Tony, you've got some significant knowledge because you've got a Pembroke background. This is going to hold you in good stead today.
Oh, certainly is. And look at them go around here. This is the hard bit, Peter. They're going backwards to come forwards. When we get a little bit further around, you'll see the scoreboards all lit up, and there's a building. I know you're going to allude to that a little bit later.
You're ahead of me on that one.
But there's a hedge next to that. Behind that hedge is a swimming pool in there, and that's where we used to do the tackling practice way back when. And I'll tell you what, they probably need it out on the field today. That's a hack forward by Harrison George. And Walkerville, see, they're squeezed up on the boundary. They get it in. Playing in front, Adam Law. So Adam Law's coming in now. Geez, he's kicked, we call it to the fat side, but he's almost kicked that too well. The winger goes up, who has actually come down deep. Oliver Harms, that is composure. That's a beautiful kick there, Peter.
Yeah, neat kick, and a man who's already grabbed a few touches in this first quarter is George. Harrison George. Wide towards the centre wing. Fists are there towards the safety of the boundary line. I'd suggest the boundary umpires will be getting a lot of work over there because that one belted over towards the fence that looks as if it's just been painted in that nice little green with the water-based paint, so it doesn't take too long to scruff off anything that gets on your clothes. Boundary throwing to take place. Ruckman are over there and trying to grab hold of the ball, but no one can take it cleanly. It's going to be a skiddy day of substance for those who are trying to get access to the ball on this occasion. It's taken over there by, let's have a look, number 37, I think it is
87
out there. 87 is.
Yeah, Magnus Illman.
Now, well, he's changed his number. I better write him down as number 87. That's Magnus Illman, who thumps the ball for Pembroke in towards the forward line. There's a push and a shove and a let's grab hold of the ball if we can. It bounces just wide down there of Liam Hayes towards the safety of the boundary line. Doesn't quite go over. Blue and white, there the Cats trying to clear, can't do so. Up in the air it goes. Rain continues to fall heavily. That's good gather in defence there by Daniel Woodford, and he clears to the half-back line, and it's marked out there by Ryan Wade.
Yeah, wheels around on the left. That's a nice kick. Nice and close to the backman here for Pembroke. There's a bloke free as well, James Ionucci, who's been the best players, number 7 there. They're just setting up here behind the ball, Pembroke. There's a player free now, Oliver Harms, back behind as the rain's just coming in. So Walkerville are going to load up. it is a wet weather. We talk about a winter game, but we're lucky we only get 2 or 3 a year. But today it's settled in that rain. We had sun out before. So Sean Kirshner with the ball and just hits a target. And this is what we're talking about, Peter. The skill to be able to do that with the ball. The ball would be already wet and heavy. Yep. Pops up. This will be the hard one to mark. Big number 26 tries and gets his hands to it. I love how Harrison George set him up for the front and centre there. Oh, the player there, Jack Carruthers, couldn't get it over the top. And against the top team, goes in again. That could be costly against the top team, and that umpire's just let that go a little bit. Tom Sinclair, number 38 it is, just getting up with Mitchell Curnow as well. Nice tap by Reid. Geez, poor old 29 Carruthers can't get it around. Now that's about his 4th go. Nest of Walkerville players, so they're going to be able to clear. They come out wide, player falls over, fresh air, trying to get it across to Lincoln Blewett, who almost did. Anyway, now it's number 11. He's got a bit of it. Kersner has been their best players. I wonder whether they're going to do much tagging like this today, Peter, as well, or just the conditions will slow things down for them.
Well, the bosses, Ryan Madden and Nathan Woods, would be saying when you get the ball, make every possession vital, because it's going to be messy. There's going to be a few falcons out there with players using their heads to prevent the bag of wind to fly in the different direction. And as we speak now, yet another. Let's get access to the pill if we can't. But that didn't help. And getting to his feet out there was Tyler Wagner.
And just watch number 60 here, James Allen. That's him there. Last time he played, I saw him. He just did this shuffle 5 or 10 metres across each way in around these packs. Gee, that player there is pretty much chicken winged. Poor old Vanderhoek, and he's taken the ground. So just outside 50, Walkerville trying to hit a target. That was a great lead. Player in long sleeves, but there's Allen as we speak. So he's come down in a V formation from that pack. Now it's out on that far wing. Players popped it out of bounds on the full. Isaac Twelftree, one of their goal scorers, better players. And you see Allen just minimising where he has to run, a smart player. So I'd like the track players every now and then. Yeah. Jeez, look at that, the big player there. Bradley Zwar just came in and give him one on the way through, Peter, as well.
Just a bit of a how do you do, what's happening in your life. That's
so
right.
Walkerville are out the other side now, and good mark here. Bit of possession football. So player comes around now, pops it up, and Lincoln Blewett that was. He's had a few of them, and Luke Westbury unable to take it.
So not much happening on the scoreboard. As a matter of fact, after 6 minutes, nothing. Although I did notice, Tony, off the ball, Oliver Harms looks as if he might have just hurt his wing, his left shoulder.
Okay.
He was doing a little bit of rolling it around there, and it's a bit cool. So let's just watch him now as he runs back with Adam Proud. He's full back and Proud's at full forward.
Yeah, kicked by Allen. Wow.
Oh, you see these sorts of players and you think to yourself, how good are they?
There's an in danger there.
It is.
Look at this player
down. How good's that?
Yes. So this player down here, well, Allen's on him, but he doesn't want to pick him up. Look, he's pointing. They've got a spare, Pembroke. They've put a spare back as well.
Kick to half forward. Who's going to leap high? Big leap there from Max Reid. Couldn't take the grab. Dives in after it. Can't pick it up. There's no shortage of intestinal fortitude from these two sides, Pembroke Kings and Walkerville Cats. But I think maybe 5 or 6 goals. That'd be a winning score, Tony, the way it is. And conditions aren't going to get any better. 3-on-1 now with Pembroke. The access now goes with the home team. The hand pass from Arnucci across towards centre wing.
Ooh.
Good flick on. Number 57 charges down the ground. That's Magnus Hillman. Kicks it towards the forward pocket. Good kick. Good kick on the run. And as far as the kick was good, so too was the mark.
This is our goal scorer, I reckon.
That's down there, Adam Proud. Or Alex Foster, I should say.
Yeah.
Now, Foster, 70 goals for the season so far. That's a pretty good effort, isn't it?
Fair effort. Jacko reckons if he gets to 100, I think he's going to get him a little prize. Might be some beer.
You say some thongs.
No. I tell you what, the rain stopped, Peter. Look out. You get that jumper out again, that Sean Burgoyne beautiful Hawthorn jumper in a minute, because it's getting warm here.
Come on, Alex. Let's see what you can do from a long way out. Makes good contact. Oh, big kick. Big kick. Big goal. How about that? Get the footy and slam one through for a 6-pointer and open up proceedings after 8.5 minutes and kick his 71st goal for the season.
Yeah,
what a
nice
kick.
You heard the barracking from the grandstand. We're in a great position here. So we just watched the replay coming in, and we'll cross now to our boundary rider, Nick.
Yes, boys, it's been a game of rebounding so far from defensive 50, as you can see with that goal from Pembroke. Very nice, very well worked, so to speak, for Pembroke and resulting in a goal.
Good work, mate, and yeah, you're right there, because it is a little bit of a battle of the backlines. We expected a forward line shootout, and the backlines have got their work cut out, so it's man on man. Oh, that's in that mud down in there. Good luck, Mum, washing that out of the clothes. There it is. Most clubs probably have a washing machine and dryer these days, but oh, your boots, your jumper, your shorts.
And the smell
Look
too,
at that.
don't forget.
Oh, yes. Anyway, it's Jack Green who got that out and gets it down forward. Look at the numbers down there, Peter. There's 3 or 4 on to 1. Now they get it forward again. Just a hack kick, but I'll tell you what that'll do today. Forster's allowed that ball to come into a position where he can run onto it. He was very smart with that, almost Peter Hudson-like, how you protect the space the ball's coming to. But Walkerville, and this is what Nick alluded to, the battle of the backlines is very good. So clearance now, and this is Tyler Wagner, who's come long down this side. So they're attacking. Oh, look at the players slide there. Lucky not to do a knee was Harms. That's a great kick in. Big punch there. Pembroke under pressure here. Player just gets it out. Now they relax a bit, and that is a beautiful kick. And I'll tell you what, this bloke's got a bit of size to him. Mitchell Curnow. Don't put it in the mud, Mitchell, whatever you do. He's looking around. He's got one here short, but he pops it up where the 2 Walkerville players are. They've only got to bring it to ground and they're out. Player held on to. Very smart there, Adam Law. So probably kick selection, Peter, on a day like this.
Very difficult. Pinpoint accuracy is almost an impossibility as Lincoln blew it.
He's had a bit of it too,
He
hasn't
has, yes. That's a good cricket name. Blew
Lincoln.
it. I was up with the other. Now he comes in. Now he's jabbed the ball magnificently to the lead. That was Adam Proud who came out. But how about that for a kick? Lace out, slapped him on the button and he took the grab.
The way he ran out at that looked like Brad Otten's then.
Well, there's
in
a
the
few
Geelong
numbers
colours.
floating around.
It just looked like the mannerisms. Let's see how he goes. He's another. That's just this forward line shootout, Peter.
Yeah, and enjoying it already. A lot of tall players out there. Here's one of them. Adam Proud from 35, slight angle, on its way. The Cats are screeching from behind the goal now. Even waking up those in the dormitory over to our right. And that is a goal that levels the scores after 11 minutes of the first term. Goal Alec Forster, goal Adam Proud. This neck and neck tussle will continue.
And our replay brought to us by the Simon Black Academy. Beautiful kicking style. That's how you do it for all the young fellas out there watching and observing. That is a beautiful kick. We'll keep people updated. The rain's on and off. Poor old Nick's going to have to be out there in the rain on and off at different times. But at the moment, and now there's a good mismatch here for Pembroke. Number 31, Damien Hutchings, on Pembroke guy, James Iannucci. So there's a little bit of difference just in the height there. But to his credit, Hutchings comes in now, in around that ball. But out of the mud they go on their home ground, Haslam Oval. See that ball just slides forward. That's worth another kick, about 10-15 metre slides. Hack out now, and hasn't he had a lot of it? Lincoln blew it. Here he comes again, down that side. Oh, players sliding into the marquees down there. Comes across, good teamwork here. 31 there was Hutchings. Up it goes. Player elected the punch. It's a nice spoil too, Peter. That's a 20 metre punch by Matt Felsen with the big fist up.
Gee, it's good that there's so much of a family feeling, even though the weather conditions are pretty ordinary. There's plenty of red cordial to get, the sausages and chips, everything like that. Yeah, and they're here, barracking for their boyfriends or their dads or their partners and making a noise and following so much football, Tony. It started this morning, and boy, oh boy, has it smarted out. The kick away will be taken from, but that'll be Vanderhoek.
Yeah,
there was
what's happened? Just gave a little nudge there. Alan got the free, was taken afterwards, and just gave the player on the mark a little thank you very much as he walked past. We won't go into what it was, but it wasn't with the upper body, let's say.
That's number 60.
And he's a big Wade Ryan. So he's had Wade Ryan and Bradley Zwar both knock into him. Here he is now. He's not going to get it there. He is there. See, the big blokes bumping into him, they're trying to soften him up, but to his credit, he's going back in again. He's looking at the umpire, asking a question. just get on with the game, mate, and let these beautiful umpires do their job.
He's having to chat to one of the umpires now.
Yes.
Saying, can I put my head back on now, umpy?
Probably in a nice way. So I like to look at also the boundary throw-ins like that. This boundary umpire on this side throws a long way. So Zenny it is who's been in their better plays. Another just a hack forward by Harrison George. He's had a bit of it. Turnover. Walkerville. I tell you what, that's worth gold when the opposition kick it to you on a day like this and you're able to mark it. Can they mop up? Look at them slide there. Slip sliding and slip sliding away, we say, and it's over under the trees over there. That might be the only dry spot that we've got, Peter.
Well, last week, was it, or the week before, we spotted people that were sitting under trees. There's a few over there at the moment. Let's check that score. It's a goal each. Forster got a goal early in the piece, and Proud follow. They are the two gun forwards from the respective units, and they are both on the board. And they obviously are draw cards because Forster has 71 goals and Proud 56 in this race to see who will win after we get through the 12th round of football. In the gloom, snap out of the pack in towards full forward George. It's going to go away from him. And the boundary umpire runs around and might signal. Let's just see if I can pick it up where the soccer nets are there. No, there's a mark taken down there.
Yeah, he was high up there on his own. That's Isaac 12, so he's another scorer. They share it a bit between him and Forster.
He's kicked 25 goals. Let's see what he can do. He's only 20 out. Accuracy is all that's necessary, and he provides the accuracy. Yes, he does. Goal kicked by Isaac 12-3. He's 26 for the year, and it's a 2-1 battle here in the gloomy conditions at the Haslam Oval, the Pembroke School. This is Division 4, this clash, and it's a goal the difference after some 16 minutes of the first term. Tony.
And we thank Simon Black Academy for the replay there. And I had a good chat with the umpire before the game too. Bradley Webber is the one umpire, and John Vass, and Jon, John Vass is the other umpire, and doing a good job out there in the wet. So up it goes and into that mud. Good luck there, boys. Just a scoop out, that'll do. And Harrison George, he's been instrumental. There he is again. Second, third go at it. Battle of the Mudlarks in here. Geez, down there is Daniel Wolford sliding around. Player with a bandage on his head already is Oscar Swatala, so he's been knocked around. Look at that ball. It's gone from a red ball to just... It is just mud there, Peter, and they might find some of my old coins or boots or anything down there from many moons ago. So now it comes out. The ball spinning like that's cleaned it up a little bit. It'll actually become quite sticky if they're lucky. So in it goes, and Swatala gets it out. 2-on-1. Good attempt at a shepherd provided by Adam Zini, which I think it's going to take a little bit of work off the ball today like that, Peter.
True.
It's been a... How have you seen? Just been groups, hasn't it?
That's what it will be, I think, Tony. We've got to be probably as patient as the players by way of there's not going to be any massive skill by both teams because of the conditions, but at the moment there's a high tackle. From where we could see, I reckon that the player from Pembroke running in, that was Williams, and he was over the top with his tackle, so the Cats will relieve the pressure.
They're good at creating space. I just saw the player down here. He moved out so a player could lead in, but they've put it into the mud pot in the middle again, Peter.
And we see mud on a football jumper. We don't see that often, but we see it today as the kick is poor. It was wide on the half-back line to Jack Carruthers, who took it towards the boundary line. And I'm watching the boundary umpire over there, who emerges from a tree trunk, and he'll throw the ball into play.
Is that a lot to do there, Carruthers? You've just mentioned him. See, he runs back. They haven't got the free that they were getting before, although number 7, James Iannucci, is probably a kick behind this at the moment. Sees Allen comes around the corner, goes forward again. Picked up now, around they come. They've got a couple of big fellas, Walkerville, which normally doesn't go in your favour, but that's a nice kick. And on that far side, a little bit of pushing around, and that could be... an advantage to Walkerville as they come down. Now they're inside 50, not quite. They're right on that line, right in front of the Crowies paint down there, thanking the sponsors. Umpire calls a throw up. So the inside 50s to Pembroke have been in front.
14's doing the boundary work. 14 attempting the ball away to knock away there from Walkerville. That's Bradley Czar, but it's back to the centre of the ground. Pick up and kick on the left boot down towards full forward. What a mark from Forster, who came out and he flew through the air with the blue boots and landed like a rocket at Cape Canaveral, if you can do that here. He's taken the grab.
Yeah, he's close enough too. He's not turning around to pass it off, is he?
Why would you? He timed his leap though. The ball whistled through the air from underneath the trees. And all of a sudden you just saw it. Okay. 71 in the bank. He's taking time. The rain now intensifies. Comes in, on its way, and he has kicked it behind. He's missed from close. He'd be disappointed. Pembroke Kings. Now already, I think the scoreboard had put that up for a goal.
They get ahead of themselves.
They did get ahead of themselves. No, they've gone backwards. 2-1-13 to 1 straight 6. Pembroke lead after almost 20 minutes off quarters that go 22. Tony.
And our game clock is brought to us by Adelaide Starbus. On time, stress-free. We'll just quickly go to Nick.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the rain has picked up heavily out here, so it's going to be a lot more sloppy for the rest of the quarter.
All right, well, you stay warm out there, Nick, and out of the rain as best you can. Ellen in front of goals. He'd like that. Couldn't quite get it out, but just, a 2 or 3 metre bundle forward. So 3 of the last 7 inside 50s were Pembroke, and they've had 3 scores out of it. So they're doing very well with their inside 50s. And it has been, I will say, it has been down that end of the ground a little bit more. There was a lot of Walkerville good structures and so on early on, and it seems to be the other end of the ground now. But can they capitalise again as the ball comes out? Players just outside their Carruthers again. He's had a bit of it this quarter, but it's been patchy touches. It hasn't been, great skill levels.
I'd like Nick to get out there at quarter time, because all the players are down one end of the ground. I don't know whether there is a breeze, but all of the players except for 2, that's the full forward for Walkerville Cats and the full back that's Oliver Harms from Pembroke. They're the only 2 that are up our end of the ground.
So that boundary throw, and we might see another one here, he's throwing pretty much directly into that breeze. So they said it was a southwest, so it's coming from behind us and to our left as we speak. So it's going straight across that side of the ground. Walkerville loaded up from that side of the ground early in the quarter. Then they're not afraid to spread wide though and come the other side. But as we see it now, Pembroke coming inside. Allen waits off. I spoke about him earlier. Geez, he tries to hit a target. That is, no matter how good you are, that's hard work from there. Forster on the ground. Be good to see what he's like below the knees. A lot of the lead, turn around, kick and goal sort of stuff is great. But now below the knees on day like this, that is a very dangerous kick that comes off. Look at the sunshine trying to come through there, Peter. That's how
you're getting it all. I'm getting nothing. We're
excited we are. Now, see, this is what I was talking about. Walkerville have opened up the ground. They spread wide. There's a lead on again. Lincoln Blewett gives it, and I think the umpire's given a 25 here, has he? No, there's a throw in. So Walkerville are stretching Pembroke across the ground. I like that. I worked with a soccer club years ago. One of the things we don't do a lot in Aussie rules, we go up and down the ground. We don't look at using the ground sideways visually and seeing how teams set up across the ground. And Walkerville are doing that today, and it's a very good tactic. So every player, if we look at the camera, is on this side, the left-hand side of the ground. So Walkerville load up. They can't get it out there. Take it in 360. Let go there.
It's just it's a rolling maul at the moment.
That's it, Harrison George. We've called him ever since you said that. We've got to watch what he says, but he's had a fair bit of it this quarter, so I haven't minded him. But scrambling again, they're out here, Walkerville. Well, I say they're out, then the kick comes like that. So numbers here for Pembroke. Geez, they're hot onto that player. And 17 was Matt Felsen trying to get it forward. Now, if this goes over the back, there's no one in front of this ball down this end, so makes it easy for Charles Canny. He's been one of their better players as well the last few weeks, and first time we've mentioned him today. Carruthers again, just a hack kick. Look at the numbers there, Peter.
And a wobbly kick all the time in the world. Easy for us from a distance to say that he should have done better, but in effect, he didn't do better, and Proud almost got it up forward, tries to lay the tackle. Also going in was Tommy Sinclair. his best mate, but they couldn't get it away. And here I am with no confidence at all, saying the quarters go 22. Well, this is up to 23 and a half. Close to quarter time. Pembroke 2-1-13. Walkerville 1 straight 6. The gun forwards have each kicked 1 goal. Is there time for one before quarter time? Sean Kersner says yes, I think there is. He can't quite get out of the pack.
Oh.
The umpire is saying against him for holding the ball, I think. Anyway, the free kick in defence towards quarter time is Matty Felsen right in front of the scoreboard, which is showing a fair bit of light.
It is, isn't it? It's really lit up there. Red numbers as well. That's a nice kick down the wing because that'll take 2 kicks to get back. They really, neither team's got a run and carry sort of style of play to them. He's got a good set of jukes here. Adam Proud, too far out, so he kicks that very, very much across the ground, but it had to hit and diving in the mud, Jai Drake, and he's done a bit of butterfly there to get back up, and look at the mud all over. Oh, I love that, Peter. I'd love to be out there. I might go out at quarter time and have a play. Anyway, Jack Green's in the middle, and look at Big Reed. Umpire said, I've heard the commentators, he said, I'll come over here on the grass, give you blokes a run at it. So you won't see anyone get off the ground here. Jeez, it's out for Walkerville. Good. Jeez, how about that, bumping on a day like this? The rain has stopped, but geez, it's hard and it's vigorous. And there's a free kick again to Pembroke. A lot through the free kick count just quietly. But Ben Williams, geez, he puts it straight into the glue pot. So Adam Zenny. So they've diagonally gone across the ground probably 50 metres. Player couldn't take off. Geez, he's gone this way, that way. Actually ran himself into trouble was Heath Rusby. That makes it hard for the players up the ground. If he doesn't know what he's doing and he's got the ball in his hands, how's everyone else going to know? And look at him stream across. There's only 2 players on this half of the ground now, and they're down here in front of us as umpire throws the ball up. Right on the siren, 25 minutes and 21 seconds, and it's 2-1-13 to Pembroke and 1 goal straight to Walkerville as we go into quarter time. Our man of the moment, the boundary rider's going out there in beautiful sunshine, and we will go to an advert and be back shortly.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
So the Simon Black Academy is in 4 states. It's a 3-pillared program. So one is the education component through the Torrens University. Second one is the development of their AFL skills, helping their player to become the best player they can possibly be. But the third one is, as you mentioned, a leadership and growth program. So it's an academy that combines both education and Australian rules football. A perfect opportunity for kids who like football. They get exposed to AFL coaches, mentoring, but they also get the hand held as they do a university degree. So the first 12 months is a diploma in Sports Management Elite, and if the students elect to stay on for a further 2 years, they end up doing what's called a Bachelor in Business Management with a sports focus. Based out of Norwood Oval for a couple of days a week in the Arc at Campbelltown. Yeah, it's a fantastic program. So for anyone out there who's interested in getting on board, loves football, extend your education with a Torrens University degree, feel free, check out the website simonblack.com.au.
Check out Catch, where everyday Aussies are getting great deals, like Justin's Timber Rake, Sylvester's Cologne, Celine's Dijon, and Camilla's Pasta Bowls. For millions of products, everyday Aussies, check out Catch.
And welcome back, our quarter-time break. And we're going to go straight to our boundary rider, Nick Cosme, who's been out to the huddles. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, boys, I was at the Walkerville huddle for the quarter-time break, and they emphasised trying to get the ball better inside 50. They've been bombing it inside, and it's played to Pembroke's advantage. That's how they've been able to rebound so well, obviously. They've had enough of the ball, so it's not like they haven't had the effort there, but they've been outnumbered on the outside because they've been sucked into the contest a bit too much. At the end of the day, it's only a 7-point deficit, so they're still in the game, and we'll see if they're able to adjust and be a bit more composed for the second quarter.
Thanks very much for that, Nick. And of course, our boundary rider brought to us by Villies. Taste the difference.
Nick wasn't too keen on going out there, I'll just give you the tip. Took a bit of an effort to get there, but once he got there and got on a roll, he was okay. And sun shining out there, Tony.
Well, I was going to say, that's why he was hesitant, because of the sun. You've got to put the zinc cream on, slap, slip, slop, slap, and we get him out there in a singlet. He's a big gridiron player, you know.
I'm not going there. If you want to go with that one, you go right ahead.
So, look, James Allen first out. He's keen. Get us back in the mud. So let's just quickly go through a couple of the goal scorers for Pembroke.
For Pembroke, we have the goal scorers Alex Forster with 1 and Isaac Twelfthry with 1. Just repeating, of course, now Forster moving to 71 goals, and he missed what looked to be a reasonably easy one and a little later on.
A couple of the better players for Pembroke, Peter?
Yeah, like the look of the man up forward, who looks like when he gets near the ball he's going to do something. That's Forster. We've called Harrison George on a few occasions. He's been good. I don't know about you, Tony, with your experience, but all of a sudden you go to players who you've seen produce, and this James Allen, 3 times Magarey medal, he's been good. There've been plenty of them. All
right, so we're going to have a quick look at the stats here, and because the inside 50s, Pembroke 9, well, you wouldn't believe it, Woodville 10, and I reckon Walkerville got a lot of early ones, tackling 24 to 24, so that's even on a wet day. Ruck taps 8 to 11 Walkerville's way, and so that's very close through some of those statistics. So we thanks very much for that. So our interchange move is of course given to us by Interchanger. Our player of the day gets the Archie's thongs and the Dartfish beanie. You've mentioned a couple of there, and because for Walkerville, Adam Proud's kicked 1, and he's been in around it, giving them something to go to. Good target up forward. So ball in the middle of the ground. You are with Peter Welsh for the first throw up.
Tony, we start this second term. The 2 top teams in this competition, with Morphettville Park not far away, and we're into July, so we're heading towards the Big S. September, and these 2 will play finals football, but as to who will play and who will occupy the superior position, time will tell.
And you're correct there, because don't forget Morphettville Park, 3 teams have only lost the 2 games, so they're up there equal with these 2.
Yeah, that's what's good for business. That's what we love to see with these sorts of competitions. Almost a Mackenzie trying to knock the ball away in the forward line. Let's see if Walkerville can do the clearing. Some good courage is shown down there by Paul Spilios. Couldn't quite knock it away there for the Cats. We scramble down there. There'd be 10 or a dozen who are all working for it. Very hard to pick it up. And there will eventually, I'd say, be a whistle from the umpire, and he'll call for it. Talking to a chap before the game, Tony, he has a son who was playing and said once the mud's out there in the middle, it gets very, very sticky indeed.
Yeah, and you can see it just off picture there. We'll come back to that in a moment if they use it. But I tell you what, every player in that half of the ground now in what we call Walkerville's forward half, look at the congestion there. I wonder whether that's a tactic by Pembroke. Look at the numbers there. Look at its legs. It's green, there's blue, there's white. And not only that, there's the jumper colours as well. Anyway, it comes out. Oh, ball just stops in. Look at that shiny. It stopped in the wet there. So there's now, Peter, there's a couple of little slippery wet spots there. So that's when the skill level comes to the fore. Our Pembroke players should know the ground pretty well. Now, Jimmy Allen there, you'll see him just pointing there, long sleeves. Just come back off about 30 metres there, and he's playing on Reece McKenzie as the ball comes now Walkerville's way. Fortuitously taken by Pembroke, handballed out to another Pembroke player. And this is interesting now. The Walkerville players will now push in and congest, hold it up, and the big fella up there, Adam Proud, look at him just waltzing around the goal square. He's got about a foot on his opponent there. If they can get it in, poor old Oliver Harms is outdone. See, Harms is running off him now, out the far side, which is dragging Proud away, even though it's on this side of the ground. Harms is out the other side. Well, that's not going to help. We've lost a football into the trees there, Peter. You're giving us the bird sign now, and I mean that in a nice way, the fluttering of the wings. Protect the birds that are up there.
Well, at the moment, it's been...
He's had a bit of it too. Lincoln blew it.
He's been good.
Very good.
Number 42 for the Cats. Slams the ball into the forward pocket. High leap down there. That was Proud, who got up high, couldn't take the catch. And the ball was punched over the boundary line.
And Proud, he ran probably 50 metres to get to that because he was over in the pocket on the other side being dragged out there by Harms. So some interesting little tactics at the moment, Peter, going on.
That's one of the better battles that we've seen so far. And that will continue on. It'll be, when we look at these stats at half-time, who has most possessions and, more importantly, inside 50s and what they do with it.
So Walkerville have got, you'll see number 16 here, Liam Hayes. See there, Hayes just standing next to the umpire. There's no one within 30 metres of him, and number 15, Jake Ryan, is to his right, which either means they've come back out of the play or the Pembroke players, yes, have pressed down or flooded down, if you like, to congestion, which leaves the Walkerville players free here. So accountability, if Pembroke come out, they'll have nowhere to go. But of course, it's a free kick the other way. Kersner it is. Geez, he's put that long. This is the side I was talking to you. Proud's been dragged out there, see, by Harms. They put it to him. Geez, that's a high kick now back towards the middle of the ground. It's a hard slog out there. Ellen, just a little deft tap. Probably wearing the Archie songs that we presented to him in the night game the other week against Morphy Park, which they did win. So out it comes. That's a great set of hands by Isaac Twelftree on the left foot. He's just looking around. He's come inboard but kicked outwards, if that makes sense. He actually walked inside and then kicked it out towards the boundary. So big crowd here. You'll see in the background there. It's a huge crowd here today. Luke Westbury, 2-on-1. He attracts a crowd. Oh, Pembroke player taken out of it after the handball. Back this way, Zenny. It's tied in close. That's a great kick into the middle. They let it go. Player runs through on the left foot. And just missing was James Iannucci, one of the better players the last few weeks as well. So it's going to be very difficult for both teams to get a score out there as Reece McKenzie about to bring the ball back in.
2-2-14 to 1 straight 6.
Scores by Sports Interactive.
Pumping out lots of sponsorship for those that enjoy the football from right around the country. And there's a little flick on which is neat and tidy, which went to Wolford into the middle, but unfortunately his kick was just a little bit astray. And it'll be Pembroke who sweep forward. The attempted mark wasn't quite what was needed there. That was number 30 coming in, not quite taking it. That's Worrell. Back towards the centre wing position. Chance for Pembroke. I've got 2-on-1, but it's just a scramble. It's in the mud in front of, as you did suggest, Tony, a good crowd making a noise, and most of them are clad very, very sensibly in their winter colours, as it's taken there by Bradley Zwar for the Walkerville team. Thumps the ball high in towards the forward pocket, runs towards the boundary line before it can be taken by Ryan Madden, and it's over the line.
And have a look at the amount of players. That ball was just down here on the half-back flank. Look at them all now swarming down to get down that end of the ground. And so, once again, I keep saying it, we've got one of the biggest, we play a sport on one of the biggest grounds in the world, and we try and make it a small-sided game because you can see that congestion. Look around in that picture there. There'd be probably 20, 25 players there, and and an umpire and a boundary umpire and probably a couple of birds out of the trees. But, you know, there's a lot there. Look at Alan. He's I bet he's doing something sneaky there. Probably not doing his boot up. He's trying to get off someone. So he gets off. He moves 5 or 10 metres either side of that pack. Pembroke come out, but it's put a good spot in here for Walkerville. Oh, Pembroke, you can't play a dry weather game in wet weather. So Walkerville now, they go outside, try and come back inside. They've gone outside again. Players free back here for Pembroke if they can get it. He's screaming for it, Harry Roberts. They can't get it to him out here on the wing, so Walkerville are going to turn around. Just another bomb, though. That's just, yeah, you're trying for good fortune, and it's not going to happen. And that's a great kick there. I reckon that was Harms, wasn't he? He might have come off proud. He has. I like to see that little battle. There's a little bit going on there with running off, and that's a little win to Harms, I reckon, and strong tackle in here over that other side. Look at those seats in the sun there. That spectator he's got the whole row of seats to himself over there. That might be the members over there.
Could be. He's just around from where the swimming pool was or is, and the dormitory. So he knows location. When you come to this particular Haslam Oval.
Just to the right of that is the old scoreboard. I hope that's not the remnants of the last game. 3 goals, 97 it says. So don't read that one, Peter.
Yeah.
So Walkerville now. That's Adam Law it is, half-back flank. Just this long high bomb, but yeah, big target, and that's why. You just see Adam Proud stand there, put the jukes up. That's sticky fingers, and you know we haven't had the rain for a little while now, Peter. The ball actually starts to get that touch sticky if it can stay off the ground. He's a long way out, and I reckon he thinks he's a chance. He would know. So let's just see what he does here. You can see the cricket pitch just in the corner of the screen there as he runs in. He's going to kick this from, well, that would be the 50, I'd say. He swings out to the right. Nice kick, and you know what? You run out that way, guess where you kick it? Out that way. Anyway, he's kicked more goals than I've had hot pies, I reckon, so who am I to say? But Harms it is now, looking to come out this side. Plays on, gets, that extra advantage there, 20 or 30 metres, makes it 2 kicks back for Walkerville if they get it. Oh, player there, I'll give that a 9.5 out of 10 for that dive there. It's beautiful, but see, these turnovers are going to be costly. Walkerville player just lost that a bit there, Liam Hayes. Went back after, it's still in. Still right on the line there. How'd the boundary umpire see that through that mess of legs? And look at the marquee. That's the coach's box there. That's the Walkerville coach's box, the marquee set up. Long throw in by this boundary umpire. That's why it goes over the back. One of the little nuances in your coaching, just look at these things. So Zwar, as you mentioned, Peter, he's had a bit of it as well, hasn't he, Zwar? Look where he's put it. How'd you like to be the bloke on the bottom of that? Well, I would actually.
Mud, and it's not slush or too much water, it's just a bit of sticky mud. Can't do much about that. And the scoreboard tells us it's just a 7-point ball game, and we eat into the 10th minute almost of this clash at Haslam Oval. Such an important one. The Pembroke School jumping for joy and getting so many people around here rendering some support vocally, getting all excited, and that's the way to go. And at the moment, pretty hard to know which way this game will deviate. We've only gone 10 minutes, so there's plenty of time left for something to happen.
You know those keys I spoke about at the start of the game, you want 4-quarter efforts from some players, but there might just be a player that gives us a flash of brilliance for 5 or 10 minutes, and 7 points of difference, 2 or 3 goals could be the winning margin if you can get in front and stay in front. So Pembroke now, look at this ground surrounded by the trees as well. Beautiful setting out here. Just that high long kick, it comes in. Players fly, there's about 6 up in that pack, and out it goes. Because this is called the Pembroke Kings, and we're in the grandstand down here. I'd just about say heritage listed. Coaching back here many moons ago, we took a photo up here in the grandstand. We called ourselves Kings on Parade, we called it. And very proud heritage, the Pembroke Kings. And the colours haven't changed much over the years. Out it comes. Our player wasn't expecting that, Mitchell Curnow. I tell you what, that's a hack kick forward screwy that's gone 60-odd metres, 2-on-1. So poor old Alex Forster, I tell you what, he didn't give up on that, Peter. Got that back, big high screwy again in, made it difficult. There a chance here, Pembroke, great tackle by Reece McKenzie. I'd say a goal-saving tackle, but Alex Forster didn't give up on that chase when he was outnumbered there.
No, it was good stuff though, good stuff. Three teams in the Adelaide footy team, 11 premierships and 13 grand finals in 77 years. They just keep on being a side that is going to be around the money when you're playing in the final. Now, is there a mark to be paid out there? It is. Umpire is doing what?
Mitch Kerner.
Yes, it's okay. Short pass across the ground, looking for number 6-0.
Allen.
It's Allen. Allen got it.
He's got it back in the
back
mud,
again.
Peter.
He better hurry. He's got the hand pass. He still runs alongside just in case the ball's going to be delivered in his direction. The ball knocked wide out there towards, that's Curnow on the half-forward line towards the boundary line, and it trickles over for what was happening, but in the finish, we are going to see a free kick.
6 or 7 handballs in that passage, and
That's
then
good.
a kick that went out of bounds.
Thumping kick in towards the full-forward position, and then on the left boot, it's hacked, not with all the elegance, but it's gone over the boundary line. We're trying to pick up from here about the mark has been paid down there. Now, what's going on here?
So what happened, Proud came out, contested the mark, and couldn't get back. And, well, this is the coach. The coach, yeah. So the goals of Proud, Law, Kirshner and Ryan.
Well,
the
he's
last
kicked
few
one,
games,
Tony,
and now the coach. So what does he do? Send a message out to himself?
Well, he's kicked a goal.
How does that work?
He's kicked 2 goals now, and, can you believe it, we've got a scoreline of 2-2-14 to 2-1-13, and we in jest, as we were getting ready to start the broadcast, said, it'll be an average sort of a game. You might only get 5 or 6 goals. Well, we're almost halfway through the second term, and it's 2-2 to 2-1, a sprightly clash of these two strong teams on a Saturday afternoon.
And it will come down to that battle, won't it? Because, ball on the ground a lot, below the knees. Although, Proud's done very well. He's taken some good marks contesting up there. The big men fly here. Big Mitchell Kernow's been good in the middle. 58 is Jack Rowe, and he hacks that forward about 2 metres. Umpire, look at him sprinting around the back of that, and he's getting close to the mud. Don't go back any further, Umpy. Anyway, out it comes. I'll tell you what, Pembroke haven't had it forward down this end very much at all. Walkerville have been good here. Sean Simmons it is. That's a nice kick under pressure. And he finds Paul Spilios on the left foot. That's a long kick too, but guess what? Straight to Pembroke. There's a player out wide.
Yeah, it'd be disappointing, that, because he had plenty of room to run. And unfortunately, the kick just went straight down the throat there of, on the half-back line, Matt Felsen.
So the possession play here, Mitchell Kernow gives it back. This is the one that undoes things because it's a hack kick forward, hoping that Numbers now fortuitously bounces over the back. Forster's caught behind here. Geez, I tell you what, he was on his way, wasn't he? He saw the big sticks, but they're, I think both back lines are doing very well. The player free out here. Geez, he's ran hard there, Sean Simmons. Doesn't get used, Sam Marner. He goes down the line. Why wouldn't you with Big Proud there? He's a long way out from the goals, isn't he, Proud? So they're trying to set up some lines down the ground, I'd say, Peter, to get that ball back down the other end, because Proud's just taken off the back of that pack now.
Have a look at the screen that you're watching coverage. Just about everybody had their arms out like they were ready to take off at an airport and fly through the air.
So over it comes. Dangerous position. Oh, player taken very hard there. It was almost, that was a nasty collision, that, but can he get up? And I reckon that's either, is it 12th Tree or Swatala? It's 12th Tree. No, it's Oscar Swatala. So he's wiping, good luck there. Have a look at the mud on him. He's trying to wipe mud off the footy. He's going to wipe his hands onto himself that have covered him. Look at him, he's covered in mud. So he's trying to wipe mud onto mud. Anyway, as a bricklayer would do. So, setting up here is Oscar Swatala. Sun's out, so the ball should stick for him. Gee, he gets close. Unusual kicking style. Puts it right into the square and just punched through for one behind.
Scoring not too plentiful. Pembroke 2-3-15. Goal scorers Forster and 12-3. And at Walkerville Cats, they're a 2-1-13 with Adam Proud having kicked the 2 goals. Short pass into play comes from Reece McKenzie. He just didn't have to dab the ball hard, but needed to kick it accurately, and he did, to find Lincoln Blewett, whose kick wasn't all that smart.
I was going to say, he's had a good game. Have a look where he kicked it.
Oh, yeah, we got all excited about that. Here's the excitement machine himself. Allen into the forward pocket. and the mark is strong and bold. That was Pembroke's player running backwards, Harry Roberts.
I tell you, Harry Roberts too, Peter, very quickly. He's been down on the wing screaming for it, so he's run in front of Alex Forster to get this, so you want to kick it.
Who's wild about Harry? Come on, Harry. Right in front of where we are. Check side kick. Hits the post and hits the other
posts. I'll tell you what, and man just walking in front of us as we speak, Scotty Gurner. He was my runner and assistant coach down here in 95-96, and he's just walked out the car park in disgust there, hit both posts. So
you don't see that happen very often, do you?
Walking out in disgust, or both posts hit?
Both posts.
Yes. Anyway, they're back in play here, Walkerville. I tell you what, Pembroke, just the last couple of minutes have turned things around, and a couple of scoring avenues. Interesting by James Allen that he chose to kick to the player here. Another 10 metres, it would have been a goal if he'd have chosen to run in that far. But look at him back in the middle of the ground there, and good player on him there, Jai Drake, doing a good job as it goes down the wing. So they're going to load up again here, Pembroke. They need runners. Players leading towards centre forward. He's a good-sized lad too, is Nicholas Worrell, but it comes in short. They're going to come across the ground, get it to Adam Zenny. Just that fumble. Geez, a bang on the foot. That was more, it's almost a rugby kick in hope. Now it comes in board. Look at him. 3 or 4 Walkerville players can't get to Harrison George. We've called him a lot too, Peter.
It's been good.
Oh, a handball though. Just undoes, doesn't it?
The kick was pretty disappointing too. Straight down the throat of Drake at halfback for the Cats. And Drake's kick was equally as disappointing, and that's the man who was at fullback at one stage, Oliver Harms.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's followed Proud down the ground.
He has.
So, yeah.
His kick is well marked. That's strong from Pembroke. That's Worrell into the forward pocket. It bounces. It'll be kicked through. It is. Alex Forster, who's so quick and slippery, snags his second. And a much-needed goal, I'll say, because Pembroke had the ball up in the forward line for a while, but that one was poked through at the 19-minute mark, 3-4-22 to 2-1-13.
And we'll take a quick grab from our boundary rider, Nick.
For about 10-minute dominance, Pembroke have finally hit the scoreboard with a goal. After all those points, they've been able to press quite well, and they've got a return for it, and have broken the game open, it seems.
And a very good point there too, Nick, because the last 4 inside 50s have been Pembroke. They've kicked 1 goal too from these 4 inside 50s, and you hit the nail on the head. They have been peppering that ball down into the forward line down this end, and Sun's broken out again, and maybe they play well in sunshine, Peter. And look at number 13 come through, Tyler Wagner. As he had a bounce there, he's taken it all the way. That's going to be one of the best points ever seen on Haslam Oval, Peter. Fair dinkum.
Good kick, wasn't it? Too long kick, I mean.
That was unfortunate there, but very good effort by Walkerville. So obviously they've heard those stats and said, let's get it back there. I've been very impressed with Harms. He's just backed off again. See? So Proud's off him. Proud's come off him a little bit, and Harms is getting a fair bit of the ball as the full-back. And as you mentioned before, now he's run off again inside here. Though I don't think they'll get it. Geez, they looked. But he's not afraid to come out of that 10-metre zone down in the goal square. He can run off and expose the full forward. So it's interesting tactic as they come out very wide. This player had a good set of hands a moment ago. A player ball still in, and that was Nicholas Worrell. Gets back and helps out again. Just that little bit of influence. Can it bounce up? 12-3 can't. Swatala can't. It's still there. Oh, that is desperation play by Pembroke. Ball just bobbling around. 12-3. It's in front of goals. Big tackle. Wade. I think they probably just pushed that ball 15-20 metres.
It was like a rugby ball, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Yeah,
it was good.
Look where it is though, Peter. Right in front of goal in the hot spot for Pembroke now. There's a lot of players around the ball. Player just hanging off the back. 12-3 as well. In it comes. Strong tackle. Is that Harrison George? No, that's, Jack Green, wearing green, and a throw up.
It doesn't need to be a score against Walkerville right now. 21 minutes gone. Close scores, 3-4 to 2-2, and they want to prevent the next score from coming. That might not be the case. A spin out of trouble and back into trouble for Anucci. His kick across towards the true centre half forward position. Comes out of the pack. Snap looks to be good. Snap looks to be very good from Mitchell Curnow.
He's up and about, wasn't he? I'll tell you what, the work in there by James Iannucci should not be underestimated as we see the Simon Black Academy replay here. Goes around. There he is. But good vision. Didn't just give a handball out. He had good vision, gave it back. Then he went back and got the second one. The second one was the important one, and I'll tell you what, didn't he light up Mitchell? Look at him, get around him. Mitchell Curnow. Well, I suppose like the UEFA Cup's on at the moment, you've got to celebrate the goals because they're very few and far between as we speak, and that's his first. And Peter, ball back in the middle, and Pembroke have had that little run on I spoke about.
Yeah, look,
5-minute burst.
Almost half time, and that would hurt big time when you go into the sheds and you're down by 14 points instead of being down by 8. 22 minutes gone. The first quarter went 25, so we might still have a few minutes left, but I'm sure the Cats would be hurting after that goal was scored.
Well, they've had 5 scoring shots this quarter and kicked 2 goals, 3, so they could have been more in front. Ball right in the middle of the ground there. The Willing going, a player just sliding. He slid further than the ball then. I don't know what number he is now. Jai Drake, it's 51, but look at the mud. So it's out now. Ellen just says, I'll pickpocket that now. So they've got a good running game, Pembroke, at times, if they can link up. That is a dry day kick to Isaac Twelftree. Now it's dangerous. Let's watch Forster. We've got a good shot of Forster here in the goal square. So Forster down here. He's going to have a look at this Isaac Twelftree and just to see the running patterns here of Forster. So just standing still now. Well, he's come and stood next to the goal umpire, so I built that up for no reason. I thought he might have given a lead. Interesting sideways. High kick. High, wide and handsome, wasn't it, Peter? He sort of stood a bit sideways. And so Walkerville are under the pump here. We're 23 and a half minutes in. And this is Reece McKenzie. Walkerville, interesting, a lot of the lads from one of the colleges play for Walkerville, so they have a huge country contingency that come and go. They have a floating population through their players. But of course, Pembroke Old Scholars, if you can get them from the school to come back and play as Old Scholars, so there might be a little bit of both going on for today. And just ducking the chutney there was Jack Carruthers, but they're good enough to mop up. Out it comes now, and how'd you like to be leading on that? That was, of course, James Allen with the kick to Forster. He's having a bit to say to a few players there as well. Probably a little bit of an on-field coach, do you think? So Forster's kick 2. Just look at his boots, they're purple. He's looked up here into the grandstand. We can see you, Alex. Don't worry about that. Give us something to go with, son. He's wiped the hair. You're on TV. Got it all happening. I think he's looked across at the girlfriend.
Well, you're going there, I'm not.
I'll tell you what. Anyway, in he comes. Looks at him, puts it through. He's done the flex. Have a look at that. Have a look. And I tell you what, I did have a yap with the president last few days. The Pembroke team were very, very excited to be coming out for this game, knowing that it was on. And I tell you, that's why. Have a look. There it goes. Do we get the flex? Probably not. I'll wait for it. We've just missed the big flex.
You're pretty unhappy about that, aren't you? You missed the flex.
Jeez, don't worry, I saw it live. That was enough. So very interesting now as they've gone ahead that little bit more now. And that's his third, as you said, Peter. So they've gone ahead 5 goals, 5-35 to 2-2-14. So, yeah, good little 21-point buffer.
It is. This has been hurtful the last few minutes of this first half. Goals and goals. And they now have created some space, that lead of 21 points. Walkerville will go forward with perhaps the last foray forward before half-time. Ball flicked back there to number 38, Tommy Sinclair. Sinclair barrels the ball deep into that forward pocket for the Cats. It's a loose ball, very hard to gather. The slippery bag of wind out there. It's close to the boundary line and it's dragged over for a throw-in. So we've gone 26 minutes and Pembroke 5-5-35, Walkerville 2-2-14, 21 points the difference. That is a very handsome lead right on half time.
They just can't make any leeway here, can they, Walkerville? There's an opportunity now nice kick in, but see that turnaround by Pembroke. They've been very good. Both back lines we said in the first quarter, and this quarter especially, and there's the siren. That'll do them. But look at them clapping. That's a very good quarter. See, Walkerville player just going down maybe with a bit of cramp or a sore leg there. Just starting to see a little bit of that as our boundary rider is going to head out and catch the captain of Pembroke as we speak. So this will be an interesting little interview because they're in front now. And that's a good lead. 5 goals, 35 to 2, 14. Very
10
good
scoring
quarter.
shots to 4.
Yes, and no rain that quarter. So what a difference, just that little bit of what we call, it's still heavy underfoot of course, but a little bit of dry weather football. So let's just see who Nick can get hold of here as he wanders out. And their last 3 games, Walkerville had a win-loss win. They lost to Mitcham in round 10, and of course Pembroke, win-win-loss. They lost in round 9 to Mitcham. 7 points Pembroke and 11 points Mitcham. Walkerville, of course. So Mitcham were the giant killers for a couple of weeks there. Then they got done last week by a lower team. However, 2 wins and a loss, both teams in the last 2 rounds. We knew today, look at James Allen out there just doing a bit of instructing as we speak, as we wait on... Poor Nick's getting a lesson in football there as we're waiting on the captain. So let's just see who he's going to get as they're running off. So he's got the captain now with him, and we are going to hear from the captain right now at half-time.
With the Kings captain at half-time, Jack, I tell you what, talk to us about the conditions. It's a bit muddy, it's a bit bad, now it's sunny. Talk us through it.
Much like last time we did wet game, so once again it's just putting the head over the ball, it's going to win the
Check it out, you guys the ball a lot more fluidly. What was the biggest factor in that?
Oh, well, obviously growing up a little bit, then we get to play our running game. Obviously we pride ourselves on track, and we started playing guys a little bit, not playing the ball forward as much, and started to use a bit of that run.
So thanks very much for that, Nick. Apologies for the audio there. It's a little bit crackly with the hands-free microphone out there and the weather as it is. So there it is. It's 20. What are we looking at? 21-point deficit to Walkerville as we speak. And we shall look at a couple of ads and come back with a bit of a wrap-up after the break.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
So the Simon Black Academy is in 4 states. It's a 3-pillared program. So one is the education component through the Torrens University. Second one is the development of their AFL skills, helping their player to become the best player they can possibly be. But the third one is, as you mentioned, a leadership and growth programs. So it's an academy that combines both education and Australian rules football. A perfect opportunity for kids who like football. They get exposed to AFL coaches, mentoring, but they also get their hand held as they do a university degree. So the first 12 months is a diploma in sports management elite, and if the students elect to stay on for a further 2 years, they end up doing what's called a bachelor in business management with a sports focus. Based out of Norwood Oval for a couple of days a week in the Arc at Campbelltown. Yeah, it's a fantastic program. So for anyone out there who's interested in getting on board, loves football, extend your education with a Torrens University degree, feel free to check out the website simonblack.com.au.
Check out Catch, where everyday Aussies are getting great deals, like Justin's Timber Rake, Sylvester's Cologne, Celine's Dijon, and Camilla's Pasta Bowls. For millions of products, everyday Aussies, check out Catch.
And welcome back, folks. Here we are at half-time at the mighty Haslam Oval Pembroke Kings, and I've got a very special guest with me. It's always an honour to come back and interview one of the players that you may have coached over the time, and Charlie Pryder has joined us. Welcome along, Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
And that's the last time I'll say Mark. It's Charlie. This man was an absolute champion, a pleasure to coach. And, mate, the game's record holder, I believe now, 424-odd games down here at Pembroke. How's the body going these days?
Oh, good. Yeah, I feel like I can still play.
That doesn't surprise me. I reckon give you half a chance, mate. You've probably got the boots in the car, have you?
Yep, absolutely.
I know if you've seen it today, mate, you would relish this kind of game, the mud and the water and the wet, and the Kings had a great second quarter there, mate, and they're on top here.
Yep, they certainly are. I loved it when it was wet. Slowed the game down to my pace. It was good.
Yeah, well, you were a very hard tackler, mate, hard one to get away from. And, of course, premiership player, the one premiership as well, so got our names up there on the honour board inside, mate, and many a good time had down here at Pembroke Oval, and hasn't changed much, but the electronic scoreboard shows up. But just tell us what you think about the crowd today. We were talking off screen. Huge crowd down here.
Yeah, always get a good crowd here, especially now that there's 3 teams playing at the one ground at one time. So the B's and C's hang around and see the main game. So that's always good to see.
All right, well, fantastic, Charlie. And I saw Scotty Gurner down there on the barbecue as well. So, mate, have a great day. Hope you enjoy the rest of the game. It's been a pleasure to interview, and we're just going to pop to an ad break now, and we'll come back with some more information later on.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
So the Simon Black Academy is in 4 states. It's a 3-pillared program. So one is the education component through the Torrens University. Second one is the development of their AFL skills, helping their player to become the best player they can possibly be. But the third one is, as you mentioned, a leadership and growth program. So it's an academy that combines both education and Australian rules football. A perfect opportunity for kids who like football. They get exposed to AFL coaches, mentoring, but they also get the hand held as they do a university degree. So the first 12 months is a diploma in sports management elite, and if the students elect to stay on for a further 2 years, they end up doing what's called a bachelor in business management with a sports focus. Based out of Norwood Oval for a couple of days a week in the Arc at Campbelltown. Yeah, it's a fantastic program. So for anyone out there who's interested in getting on board, loves football, extend your education with a Torrens University degree, feel free, check out the website simonblack.com.au.
Check out Catch, where everyday Aussies are getting great deals, like Justin's Timber Rake, Sylvester's Cologne, Celine's Dijon, and Camilla's Pasta Bowls. For millions of products, everyday Aussies, check out Catch.
Okay, so welcome back, and just discussing this a moment ago there, Peter. The inside 50 is interesting there, 9-9 for that quarter, but well, that's telling us quarter one. So let's see, it is quarter two. So yeah, 9-all, but of course Pembroke got themselves on the scoreboard.
And when they went forward, they were able to capitalise and score goals, particularly in that last couple of minutes. They kicked 2. And they jumped ahead to lead by 21 points, which, Tony, is a significant advantage given that the weather conditions haven't deteriorated. It's still muddy, but they've been dominating. 5-5-35 to 2-2-14. Alex Forster, 3 goals. And what we said before the game started, you want to see goal kickers, you want to see them in action. And we've seen him in action, and he's done it with aplomb.
And you've got to impose yourself on the game, don't you? It's no good just being, okay, I'm a dry weather player. Can you do it both ways, in the wet, in the dry, and so on? And he's done that, so good on him. And, he could be in line for, what's a bag, 5, 6 goals, whatever. So our tackling, of course, 17-19, Pembroke, Walkerville. I often say the team that has the higher amount of tackles is because the opposition has more of the ball. So 17-19 for that quarter. So both teams, they were 24 in the first quarter. So it's a little bit more open and running. You see Pembroke got those 3 or 4 handballs in a row and got themselves going as well. So maybe a little bit less of the opposition pressure because they're off and running.
True. And we see, and we can't not stress enough what sort of a player Allen is, even though he hasn't been about the place winning Magarey medals. We, at the risk of being repetitive, 3 Magarey medals whilst playing for North Adelaide.
Yes.
But he knows what to do with the ball, and he should be a real estate agent because it's location. That's where he goes. He's there, he finds it, and then he finds a player.
And aren't they, look at them, both teams there in their huddles. I love that, that bit of feeling that... That's why you play team sport, you get together like that, and there's 21 of us, but we're all focused on the one thing, and that would be getting that ball forward. Can they get a bit bigger break this quarter? So, of course, the ruck hit-outs were very similar as well. It's been a little bit of a 0-all there. Big Max Reed's done a fair job in ruck, but, not really the day for around the ground marks by the ruckman. You're always interested to see what they do below the knees. Big number 6, Mitchell Curnow, imposed himself that quarter. He's just come off with Jack Carruthers. There may be an injury because there's only 2 players coming off there for Pembroke, so that could be interesting.
Just watching our mate, Oliver Harms is okay. He's gone across to watch Adam Proud, so he's all right as far as the key defender, but it's pretty hard to pick them up out there because they're spread fairly closely to where the men in green are going to start this third quarter.
Yeah, so big Alex Reed is just about to go up in ruck there, and the Walkerville ruckman. Here's our third player just bouncing the ball along in front of us. So there is 3 on the interchange bench as the umpire goes up. Dry weather as we speak, but taking it out of the ruck was Bradley Zwar, and that's a long kick forward. I tell you what, this could be the starter, and Proud just couldn't quite take it, tapped it to advantage. See the little bit of work that goes into him off the ball then. Just a Pembroke player comes in, lets him know he's here. Proud comes back now, and he's got his shadow, Oliver Harms. On a day like this, you don't get many shadows. Now, that was a very much planned hit to space. Geez, he took him on, seen Sean Kersner. He got taken high. He took the first one on, just got past. The second one's got him, but they grabbed him up high, and he's got a free kick in front of goal. I guess reward for effort, Peter. Hard work.
It was good. It was good. And, all right, the umpire right on song, and he was tapped around the noggin just a fraction. Now, there might be a bit of claret coming out of the nostril, but he's within range.
Yeah, I tell you what, you'd take the kick, wouldn't you? So he's lining up. Good angle. Probably similar to where Forster kicked his. Geez, he's kicked that high. That's a nice kick. That is straight through the high diddle-diddle. I'll tell you what this game has got. When you see that player kick that ball and the yelling and carrying on, it's got an almost that finals feeling. It's got that thing of, okay, they're so hard to get hold of, let's get that goal and get it back. So that brings them closer. One goal closer, and that's what you're going to get with two top teams, is this real hard battle and a real ding-dong go at it, and they've answered. Now, what they need to do is get this next one. So this will be interesting from here, Peter.
Well, they kicked that goal in 1 minute and 15 seconds
Correct.
of the third quarter, and that goal is gold. Exactly what was needed.
Golden goal.
Absolutely. Can they do it again? Can they stay in touch, or can the hometown heroes, can they pull away? That's going to be their exercise. Zenny for Pembroke attempts to hand pass the ball away. Out go the arms like a flight of birds.
Yes, it's happened a bit today, hasn't it?
Yeah, hasn't. Now the ball will be tossed in the air. A scrap of those milling around to try and knock it clear, including Max Reid, who attempted to get it clear. Kick to half forward will be well gathered in defence. Good work there by Charles Canny. His kick bounces over towards where the scoreboard is nice and bright, and it's over for a boundary umpire. Pembroke 5-5-35. The Cats from Walkerville 3-2-20. The margin is back to 15 points. 3 minutes gone, third quarter.
And Wade Ryan just put in a little bit of work there on Canny off the ball when that ball went out. So it's a very physical game. You won't see too many blokes just taking their foot off the pedal and taking it easy. It's a ding-dong battle. This is what we've come for. Umpire throws it up. It's getting exciting now. Reid, he tried a backhand to see Walkerville are out again. Can they go forward? Spilios goes a little bit backwards. Dangerous kick in. Big pack, Canny it is. Timely fist. Oh, couldn't get that kick forward. Walkerville. Out it comes. Pembroke in numbers. But look, a hack kick. So guess what? A spoil. Oh, you can't put the foot out, son. Umpire let that go. I might have been the only one that saw that here. But poor old 22 there, Reece McKenzie. I think it was a reflex action. But see number 15, Alex Catford. He's got a bit of a limp up there going back. Just carrying his foot under his arm as you do. Anyway, strong tackle. Look at this, Peter. It's heated up a bit, this game. Yeah, I tell you what, she's on.
What was needed was something in the first minute or two of the third quarter, preferably for the Cats, and they've got it. Now they have just edged back to within 15 minutes, have the ball, kick smothered off the boot, trying to get into attack. Rushing in there and doing some heavy work is Luke Westbury for the Walkerville Cats, but there'll be a toss in the air. Good crowd. A lot of people here for the earlier games, and they're plurals, the earlier games. Having some fun. Tom Sinclair attempts to knock the ball away for the Cats, goes back in after it again. It's very, very muddy indeed. Kicked off the ground. That'll be Magnus Illman, who wears one of those numbers that creeps up on you because it's not always what you want it to be. Back towards the centre wing position. Cats a chance to move the ball. Hook to half forward. Good grab running up and taking the mark as Wade Ryan.
Was a nice grab, wasn't it? Wheels around on the left as he puts it into a dangerous position. Hasn't he got a good set of jukes? I know the ball's a little bit dry now. It looks like a tennis ball in his hands. Look at the size of him. He's a good size, this guy. So he's going back. He's going to be just on the 50. A little bit hard to see the line. I can see the start of it there. He's actually going to be kicking from about 45. And this could be that comeback we spoke about. Battle of top teams. Players will be getting heavy legs. We're 5 minutes in. Geez, a beautiful action. He just leant back. Didn't even put a lot of effort in regards to his kicking action in. And that is a sausage roll. And that's his second, I think, Peter, because he's got two, Kersner's got one, and Ryan Madden one. So
what have they got all together now? 4.
4, yes. So we're just going to have a little listen to our boundary rider, please.
Well, Walkerville have definitely improved their entries going inside 50, and it shows what they've been able to do on the scoreboard and make a run back for a lead maybe.
Yeah, that's correct, Nick. Just like Pembroke did towards the end of that quarter, now it's Walkerville's turn. So we're back in the middle. Reed goes up. Strong tap by Bradley Zwar. He's given him something. Goes in again. This is a second effort I was talking about, the ruckman. Look, a hack kick forward. They're on fire here. Strong Dukes, not paid. Wade Ryan. Doesn't matter, gets it over. Now the cavalry come. They get it back to 2 good players there, Allen and, of course, Iannucci. And a lot of work going on off the ball. Reed, look at the strong tackling by Walkerville. They've just got a bit more physical. Comes towards, Proud's out of position here. When I say out of position, he wasn't able to get across, and we call that an own goal.
It wasn't bad, was it?
Good goal there by Heath Rusby. Don't mark that down because that's the opposition. So he's gone, I often say this, backwards to go forward. Just running out, almost runs into the back of Allen there, does Oliver Harms. Puts it up. So Walkerville are rebounding again. Here they come, Kersner. How many inside 50s? There's a great grab, and that is Wade Ryan, who's about to have a shot at goal. The ball hasn't been forward for Pembroke this quarter.
It's extraordinary. There's only been
5.5
minutes of action, and the action's all been with the Pussycats.
I tell you what, they come back with a vengeance, don't they? Self-belief, belief, or for the coach asking for an effort, but you can only ask for what's there. But if they're capable of it, good on them. So he comes in now, and the post is wobbling, but that's a nice goal, and that's Wade Ryan's first goal, and they are just peppering as we speak, as we go to the Simon Black replay. So comes in, great kick. They've got some real sharpshooters. So our stats man Cam has informed me 6 inside 50s to Walkerville, and they've kicked 3 goals, 1. And what are we, Peter? 7.5 minutes into the quarter.
There's no breeze out there either. No breeze.
You're right,
at all.
it's dropped down, look.
This has been a very impressive start to the third quarter by the team that trailed. Just get around this one. 21 points down, and now almost 8 minutes into the third term, they've crept to within 2. These two sides, 2 of 3 with Morphettville Park, the other one, all battling for a superior spot as we head towards the 9th month of the year. And isn't it good when you know that the 2 top teams are playing and you come here and you relish the thought, well, let's relish a bit more because this is what we wanted, a nice tight contest. And now I think the sting's been taken out of Pembroke, and also, Tony, and you know this neck of the woods, the crowd has dropped in terms of noise.
I was just looking to my left then, Peter, just to see they haven't gone home. Because I'll tell you what, look at them. Here they come again, Walkerville. Players slow to get up off the ground back there. Oh, just slipped through. But Pembroke are in trouble here because one handball out, under pressure. That's what I've liked, the pressure of Walkerville. Physicality. Look at them pushing and shoving there. And the pressure has brought them back in. I tell you the other thing, you see the interchange going on in the background there. Number 15 just come on, Jake Ryan. They've been doing a fair bit of that as well. I tell you who has given them a lift is Bradley Zwar in the ruck. Look at him. That is like rugby. Look, 2 or 3 on to 1, and he hands the ball across to Nathan Woods, the coach of Pembroke there, as Reed just takes himself off. So we should see the big fella, Mitch Curnow, in ruck. Now, he did make a difference that last quarter. And as you see there, wins the tap, gets it through to Matt Felsen. Guess what? Walkerville first of all. Look, 2 in that tackling effect.
They are being very aggressive,
Mauled.
but it's been controlled aggression. Nothing silly, just going in and hitting body on body. And they've taken the initiative away from the side that led by 21 points at half-time.
So on that, 2 points the difference to Pembroke as we speak. And they are, Peter, under pressure.
Well, you know a lot about this particular school, and they'd be fighting now to try and win back the ascendancy and produce something out of the ordinary. And at the moment, it's all going the way of the Cats, who'll come forward with a free kick, and that's going to go to Liam Hayes.
So Hayes, where is just off the centre there, isn't he, Peter? So comes forward, player on his own. Geez, he could have marked that, was Matt Felsen. put it to advantage. Harms has done the glide by there. He's a long way outside 50. Ball goes over, and Adam Proud is back about 30 metres away. So the two players now, Harms and Heath Rusby, having to run back. Rusby's the spare back here. Ball comes out Pembroke's way. Just a hack almost towards the boundary a little bit there. Ben Williams. Player first to it was Nicholas Worrell. Geez, he took him on. He's a physical animal too. Look at him. He loves it. Look, he's put another player down as well. See ball, get ball sort of type player, which you need out there. And not as many around the ball here, Peter, as there were earlier. A little bit more spread out, but dangerous back here. There's a spare back for Pembroke now.
Throw in. Who's going to gather? It's been the Cats who've been really sharp. This time it's grabbed Jack Green. Kicks Pembroke back towards the centre of the ground. Falls shy of the mark. Hand pass bounces to who? Oh, vice-like grip. Good strong stuff. Bradley's VAR. Put the body in. Did well. Cats come forward towards half forward. Big leap, not quite the mark taken by Matt Felsen. Over the top. Hand pass should be on. Is on. Cats come forward. Shot at goal. It's just offline, I think. 31 was the man, Damien Hutchings. He started clapping his hands, but we could check, and the goal umpire said it's through for a behind. But that behind means the Cats creep closer. 5-3-33 to Pembroke 5-5-35.
And it was interesting. That was started by Ryan Madden out here in the on the flank. So big long kick in by Harms. Comes in. Around it comes now. Walkerville lining up again. Player got into trouble and ran himself out. He has kicked that very high. It's not going to be out of bounds. It bounces in. You wouldn't believe it. Bounces away at Walkerville. Handball to the hot spot. Madden it is. Puts his body in. Gets it out. Nice handball. Can't get a handball out. Oh, thank goodness for James Allen back there as Adam Law had that shot. See, Allen nice and relaxed. Gives it to Harms. I keep saying it. Had a very good game at fullback. That's an inside-out screwy. No one will mark that. Ball back towards the middle of the ground, towards the mud. Coming through Harrison George. And it has to be a game of willing bodies now because Walkerville keep turning it around. Pembroke can't get past half. So there it is again, Harms. Now he's going to run off Proud. Doesn't need to as Magnus Illman kicks that long. Guess what? Another Walkerville player. Player's hurt himself there. He's already got both knees bandaged up. So he's come off and Jack Carruthers coming on, and that is Ben Williams. Doesn't look too good there, Peter.
Oh, he's close to being attended by those that have plenty, and that's two teams with the medical attention that's being required. But this is extraordinary, Tony. When you did the interview at halftime, I'm thinking, I hope this game doesn't blow out completely. And it's been 3 goals to a big fat duck egg in this quarter. Pembroke, not only haven't they scored, but I very much doubt that they've been inside their 50. This has been a very good fight back by the Cats, but can they maintain the rage? Says no. That's James Allen, who tried to do a little bit perhaps too much. And the Cats, they are scratching around, and the free kick goes back down there to Wade Ryan. His kick is long and lengthy in towards half forward. Big hands up there from Proud, who couldn't drag the mark down. It's an ugly pack down there. The umpire will watch it for a little minute. He won't pluck a free kick, one wouldn't think. There's a bit of horse riding going on down there.
A lot of numbers there too. Look at them now in that shot.
Proud.
There's 6 players outside of that camera shot there. That's all there is on the ground. So maybe it's a Pembroke thing now where they're going to try and congest up Walkerville because they're being outplayed. 18 tackles by Walkerville and 9 by Pembroke. So we talked about that physical pressure. Body on body. I'll tell you what we're not seeing, Peter, is we're not seeing a lot of just young, skinny kids out there, are we? We're seeing real men bodies here by both top teams. So look at them go in here, and that's courage by James Iannucci. Gets it across to Carruthers. Courageous kick. Well done, Charles Canny. We're almost going to see a little bit different game here. That's a nice work by Harms, but this is where they come undone, that middle of the ground. So back around come Walkerville through Darren Hutchings, pops it up. Guess what? Turns it over. Big Kerno. I like him in the ruck. He gives them something. Penetrating kick down by Iannucci, but to a contest. So it's over the back towards the gum trees, and that's almost a rugby touchdown throw there. And umpire's going to throw it in.
Yeah, I'm with you. You can't offer me a banana cake now when I'm about to keep calling.
No, I've got
to throw in.
I've got to buy my time.
5-5-35, 5-3-33 in a tight scrap on a July Saturday afternoon where the weather conditions have been a bit of everything. And Pembroke in towards full forward. It clears the pack. It bounces towards the goal line.
Oh.
It's still in play. I'm watching from a distance. Can anyone grab the ball? A hand pass comes out. And the man who was an interchange player, Harry Roberts, had a shot at goal. And it's through for a behind. So Pembroke, Tony, for the first time in the quarter, have scored after 16 minutes.
You are correct. And I'll tell you what, the ground now, bathed in sunshine. As I said, we saw wet weather football first half. Well, probably first quarter. Now we're seeing that dry. We're not going to see the centre pitch dry out, but around the ground, I reckon out here, the grass isn't wet and slippery now. It's dry weather football. So hold on to your hats, folks, because this game is actually going to get better as the game draws on. As long as and they don't look weary in the legs. I think both teams' fitness is very good. So player for Pembroke got up high there, but spoiled it. Look at Walkerville. They're running. This is it. The run and carry. Handballs linking up, breaking tackles, kick forward, can't get through, and well. Will we see a battle of the backlines again? Heath Rusby just takes the pressure off now. Pops it in. Dangerous kick, but that'll do. He's had a lot of the ball too. Harrison George, he might be up for a pair of thongs the ways he's going. Pops it in now to Jake Vanderhoek. On to Carruthers. Carruthers, so now he's better in the dry weather than he was in the wet. Oh, player just took off there. Magnus Illman, I'll tell you what, he's having a game and a half as well. He's playing a great game. Oh, they've put it down in front of goals. Forster, look at him tracking it. Good by Walkerville to get him down on the knees there. He's not going to be able to kick from on the knees, Peter, unless he's a miracle man. And, of course, you can't header a goal in Australian rules football.
I would have been disappointed.
Good tactic.
Though. Yeah, he just about gobbled that up and then missed it. And in the first half, they weren't missing those opportunities, Pembroke.
3 points in it.
Yeah, let's say the Cats deserve to be fighting back and really saying to Pembroke, okay, it's your own dunghill. Let's see how we go now at the 18-minute mark of the term. Pembroke 5-6-36, Walkerville 5-3-33 in a game which has provided us with plenty of enjoyment, most importantly with Spearheads doing the right thing and adding to their totals.
Yes.
The game's been played in a good spirit and considering what we've had to put up with the weather conditions, Tony, I reckon that the standard's been pretty good.
Yes, you are correct. As I said, it's two top teams. We're going to see elite level skills being played, and because Walkerville won the grand final last year over Hope Valley in this division, and Pembroke went out in straight sets. Yep. They were up top most of the year and went out in straight sets. And I always say it takes 12 months, or in this case probably 11, to give yourself an opportunity, Peter, to get back in and have a go at it. So for Pembroke, we say, is it a prelude to the finals? Well, it possibly is. A battle of the top two, 6 rounds to go. But a little bit of that bragging rights and confidence in the home and away series, just to get that win on the board, because this holds them in good stead for the finals. True. If they get done, does that little bit of self-doubt creep in? Remembering Morphy Park are on the same amount of points, so whoever loses this will potentially go to third today, depending on Morphy Park results.
Now, we saw Allen bust through the pack and kick the ball and it bounced out of bounds. And he was errant with a short pass some moments ago, and he would have been very disappointed. He gave the ball away.
Get him off, come on, mate.
And he rushed back in there and got boot to ball, and he's keen to get it again. Not as keen as his teammate snapping for goal down there. That's Harrison George across the face of the goals, and that's a pick-up, and that's a kick, and that's pretty good.
Was that Iannucci, I reckon, was it?
He's going to spin around and talk to us now and tell us. Was it number 3?
Was it Forster? Here we go. We'll get a replay here.
He just ran across the face of the pack.
So good call in there. Yeah, there's Forster. Tracks it. You know why? He's close to goal. So he's got 4. That's interesting. But Adam Proud, the opposite side, has been up the ground a lot more because Harms has run off him and forced him to come up the ground. I'll tell you what, Proud did do that last quarter, though. When he got up the ground, he took marks. So he was taking marks on the half-back line. So a little bit of a difference with the two forwards. Forster you probably won't see anywhere more than 40 metres out from goal. So back in the middle here now, Pembroke just jumping ahead again. So ball out far wide, still in play. Gee, player almost on his own. Walkerville player just scooping it up, walking across the line there, and that's Paul Spilios. We've mentioned him a fair bit as well. He's had a bit of it as well, Peter, so liked his game. Ball comes back in, long throw in. Big Mitchell Curnow, I keep talking about him in the ruck down there, doing a good job. Nicholas Worrell, like to see him impose himself a little bit more on the game. He's in around that centre forward position, just to the left of this pack. Good size. Maybe he's the foil, so he's going back now. So what's happened, as I've called that, he's gone in and Forster's just walked out about 10 metres. So Worrell is right back in the goal square now for that kick in. That was interesting, just as we were calling that. So a little bit of tactics going on there, and just a paddle towards the boundary line, that'll do. Almost sets it up again, Mitchell Curnow, for that second throw in.
And what we're saying also, Tony, is we don't want a goal to Pembroke now right on three-quarter time, as was the case on half-time. We want these two combatants to be at each other's throat at the start of the last quarter.
Oh, isn't that a ripper too? And interesting, big Bradley Zwar has pretty much rucked the whole quarter for Walkerville here.
Gee, I'm going to be interested in these stats at three-quarter time, Tony, as to the number of 50-metre entries for the two teams, because in particular at the start of, or midway through the quarter, it was all blue and white swarming into attack. So those stats that come our way at three-quarter time, I doubt very much whether you'd see Pembroke would have been in their 50 area all that much.
Yeah, it's almost, this quarter has been a battle of two halves. You're right, it was all Walkerville, and they had that really got going and had those three goals won very quickly, probably within the first 6 or 8 minutes. And Pembroke really have stopped them here, but they're not really, they've got to go forward for one goal. Here they go again. It's just hard work. Harrison George loved his game, and that is a great mark up forward. And Isaac Twelftree, he's a good chop out for Forster. A lot of teams look at Forster. Twelftree, he's got a good set of dukes on him. And similar, he was on that side of the ground, but down this end. So he's on the right side for the left footer this time. We saw a shot last quarter. No trouble at all making the distance, and probably similar way out. Goes around on that left foot. Look at that. Long right to the square. Say that last time, he doesn't make the distance.
Oh, close.
So, Carruthers, can he do better? Comes around, he goes backwards here, and I'll tell you what, Harrison George, geez, they're going backwards here into a nest of Pembroke players. Walkerville player got to it. Bursting through. This is the player. Shocking kick, of course, but remember I said earlier you'll get four-quarter players and you'll get a burst. James Iannucci, I just get the feeling he's one of those burst players.
So quick.
Just took them on then and got through. So that's backing your skills and knowing what you can do. There's a great blend of different types of players out there. I know every team has them, but to then gel that together, Nathan Woods, and get a winning premiership contending team, he's done a massive job. So up it comes. So there's the guy I was talking about. Mitchell Curnow outmarks Nicholas Worrell, outmarks his own player, points, puts the ball pretty much back to where it was. Big pack forms. Who's got that at the back? No one. Out it comes. Is that a whistle? No, it's not. Over the top. Players just slowing up. Walkerville in numbers now. The paddling ball is a hard one. Out of bounds it goes. And free kick here. Pembroke inside. James Allen.
Looks like Sherwood Forest down there. Robin Hood's going to appear at any moment.
Well, that used to be one of our sponsors, the Robin Hood Hotel, but it's
riding
not
through
anymore.
The Glen. Allen's kick was good. He poked it in the air, and what he did do was he said, look, I'll kick it in the air, and the guy I'm going to kick it to needs to show a lot of courage, and that courage was displayed down there by Jack Carruthers.
He's done that a bit today, hasn't he, Alan? He's an architect. He gives it to players in better positions.
Almost 25 minutes gone, Tony, and the Cats don't want a goal now. They don't want to give another goal away close to the blasting of a siren. Let's see what Jack Carruthers can do.
Ooh,
he runs too close to the man on the mark. Yeah. Almost hit the man on the mark, and he flew through for a goal. The kick in towards centre half forward. Still Pembroke a chance to perhaps score before three-quarter time. Lands in the square. It's off the hands of the pack. And it's not going to be taken through for a behind. It'll be kicked from that back pocket. That's number 6 out there. That's the big fella, Proud, who went up for that mark.
Way again, yes, Peter.
Back towards the half-back flank. It'll be Pembroke to go back into attack. No one can take the grab. Off hands, close to going over the line. Neat pick up and kick there by Nicholas Worrell in towards full forward. And the umpire watches and signals a behind. So there's been a bit of activity down there of recent, but they've only kicked the 1 goal in the quarter. So Pembroke a 6-7-43 and the Cats a 5-3-33. 10 points the difference, 27 minutes gone.
Last 6 inside 50s have been Pembroke now. So it has been a topsy-turvy quarter. They want to get a wriggle on Walkerville because we're at the 26-minute mark now of this quarter. So that might be about it because there hasn't been a lot of scoring. But I'll tell you what, Pembroke are coming back. They want to hold off here, Walkerville, if they can. Oh, big pack forms. Courage shown. Out it comes, right on the death. And that is Harrison George. And that's great reward for mine. He has been a great player for them out there today. And look at him get around him. As we said before, goals are very hard to come by. So he comes around here. Just watch there. See him at the front and centre there, just to the side of this pack. Glides by, lines up, goes bang, straight over the man in orange. So we've got umpires in green and umpires in orange today. And that replay brought to us by the Simon Black Academy, combining both education and football. And if you want an education on football, that's how you front and centre crumb right there. So Pembroke last 6 inside 50s are starting to pay dividends. Little bit of breathing space. They're 16 points up. Walkerville coming ahead now. Oh, geez, look at that ball just slide in the mud there. It's like a cricket bowling action there as it came through the mud. Pembroke are out again. They're starting to play. The siren's going to come just as Pembroke are building. So 15 was Alexander Catford. Number 10 is Adam Zini. Very instrumental. Around it comes again. And that was Carruthers as he goes forward. And the size back here behind us. I'll tell you what I did notice, Peter. I looked around before because this grandstand is chockers. The serious look on the faces behind us, like we're waiting to hear about who the new Pope is or something. The serious looks on the faces.
Would they all be, or most of them would be, Pembroke supporters?
Yes, well, possibly. So 16 points the margin. We'll take a short break and we'll be back in a moment.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
So the Simon Black Academy is in 4 states. It's a 3-pillared program. So one is the education component through the Torrens University. Second one is the development of their AFL skills, helping their player to become the best player they can possibly be. But the third one is, as you mentioned, a leadership and growth program. So it's an academy that combines both education and Australian rules football. A perfect opportunity for kids who like football. They get exposed to AFL coaches, mentoring, but they also get the hand held as they do a university degree. So the first 12 months is a diploma in sports management elite, and if the students elect to stay on for a further 2 years, they end up doing what's called a bachelor in business management with a sports focus. Based out of Norwood Oval for a couple of days a week in the Arc at Campbelltown. Yeah, it's a fantastic program. So for anyone out there who's interested in getting on board, loves football, extend your education with a Torrens University degree, feel free, check out the website simonblack.com.au.
And fantastic, welcome back, and great to hear about the Simon Black Academy. We're now going to hear from our boundary rider, who I believe has been out to Pembroke for all the dirt on what's happening.
That is correct, Tony. I was in the Pembroke huddle. They weren't happy with that first half of the first quarter of that quarter. Obviously, they need a bigger emphasis on slowing down Walkerville's run, getting easy entries inside 50, and emphasis on winning the ball. That's what Walkerville did that started that run for them. Now, we usually don't mention it, but I've got a score update because it is important for the context of this game. At 3/4 time, Hope Valley are up by 14 points over Morfettville Park. So a big result in terms of what happens with this game and the positions in 1, 2 and 3 in this division. So it's very important for both of these teams to try and get that win today to solidify top spot. Back to you, boys.
Thanks very much for that, Nick, and that is great work there, mate, to get an update on the scores, because that's interesting. Morphy Park may have jumped up the ladder, but if they get done, they may not. So let's have a look at our inside 50s. Well, interesting, Walkerville all at the start of that quarter, 11, and Pembroke 8, but Pembroke fought back and got in front. And, of course, the tackles 16 to 29. Look at that, Walkerville 29. I spoke about their physicality. They were getting physical at the players. They were going in hard. They were quite brutal. So that is a big lead in regards to the tackles, Peter. Yeah, go on.
We need a psychiatrist to attend this venue immediately and find out why was Walkerville so good at the start of that quarter. They were outstanding. And yet midway through the term, when they'd got it back to just over a goal, the turnaround, it was Pembroke as if they had been awoken. They'd have to shake themselves and get going. Then they dominated the second half. It was quite extraordinary football.
You're correct. And, of course, the ruck taps there, 18 to 14. But that tackling is 57 to 72 overall. So you're correct, Peter. It's like they took something, the red cordial or whatever, worked hard for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it dropped away. So Pembroke come back. And, of course, they're up on the scoreboard. 16 points. You're with Peter Welsh.
Let's start the last quarter and let's see, folks, whether or not we can have some early goals and a game that appeals to everyone, and that is a close game. And that might start all right because the Cats get the first ball out of the middle by way of Sean Kirshner, number 11. Racing through, and pass goes to number 30, and that's the ball Spilios. Quickly by Jack Rowe. And Spilios, Tony, would have been disappointed because that looked very gettable.
Yes, and only 16 points down, of course, now 15. But interestingly, as soon as that ball was kicked, and that ball's gone a long way back into the soccer oval, but the Pembroke players all set up straight away. They're quick. So we're big on the structures and everything. So who can stick to the structures for longer, stick to their game plan, have belief. That's a nice kick in too by Oliver Harms, and a great set of jukes out there on the far wing. Player on his left foot. Looks nice and neat with the kick, but guess what? We've seen a lot of that today, turnover, and I reckon that's Mackenzie, Reece Mackenzie it is, and in those colours, they do look like some of the Geelong players. He looks like Scarlett a little bit. Wow, that's a towering leap, but couldn't take it by the Pembroke players. This will get willing. The other thing, of course, you like the close games, but you could actually start the practice for finals pressure as well under this these circumstances. So, having said that, both ruckmen miss it, so they might need a bit of practice. There's a player gliding by. He's had a great game too. Lincoln Blewett. Oh, big pack forms. I tell you what, bursting through. Couldn't get foot to ball properly was Kersner, one of their better players. This is a belter of a game, Peter. I tell you what, Paul Spilios down on the ground. They are giving everything they can here, Walkerville. And guess what? They've been caught holding the ball. Pembroke have. And I reckon that may be Spilios. Let's just see as he comes back. He hasn't had one look at the goals yet. Yes, it is Spilios. He tracked that ball a little bit through there, Peter, and reward for effort. And will we see what we saw in the third quarter? Walkerville start that little mini comeback. I tell you what, the crowd's a lot behind us as well. There's babies crying, there's dogs barking, everything going on. Out a little bit to the left, but knows his kicking style. Paul Spilios, very good game as well. Himself and Lincoln Blewett have played very good games for them. That kick from Blewett came in from out on that far side. Spilios tracked that around and eventually got a holding the ball. Look, 3 players on the mark for Pembroke. Couldn't do anything about it. Set shot, the goal umpire. Oh, that player just booted the ball back in that replay there. So back in the middle, Bradley Zwar. That last quarter to Walkerville, he got them going, and he's in there again here, Peter. So let's see what he does, in the ruck.
Well, I wonder about the petrol tickets that are required, whether or not there's enough unleaded there to keep the 1 or 2 teams going in this last quarter. There's a kick out of the middle taken. That went from Kersner. Didn't go too far in towards half forward. First goal of the last quarter going to the side that's trying to chase. And that's Walkerville in towards half forward. I'm going to say Mud goes in and takes the ball and gets thrown to the ground.
I was just about to say, if you see a player out there with no number, that's actually Jai Drake, who we had a 1 on his back because the 5 was covered. Now we've got nothing.
Well, Walkerville, as they
there he
did
is.
in the third quarter, he picks it up. They've kicked goals early, and they've kicked the first goal of this last quarter. And they create a little bit of uncertainty into the side that's playing on their own dunghill. The score is 7-7, 49 to 6-4, 40.
Courage.
Ball kicked towards centre wing, floats in the air. And if you stand there and you take a mark like that, your name has to be Bradley Zwar, who's going to kick them into attack.
And he pops it out to that left side a little bit. Proud sort of third in line there. They might have a good spread of players here trying to get the ball because when I went through their best players earlier in the day, 3 or 4 of the names come up every time, and then from there it just all spreads out each week. So ball out wide now, far side. This may be, no, it's not Catford because he's in long sleeves. That's Allen. Just that kick behind the play. It's great to play back there. Yes, use the ball, but it's this next kick now. So Harms comes back outside. They haven't gone anywhere. Comes back out to Carruthers. Playing a good game on the wing. His only letdown, he has given the ball up a few times today, but we'll allow that in the weather. Now that is a towering mark again. Heath Rusby comes inside, gets it across. That might have been 12th tree actually. And he's just drifting down the wing here. Called the play on. The player with the ball in hand was trying to tell the goal umpire, the boundary the central umpire. And 12th tree it is. So he kicked that ball in, 12th tree. He then jogged down. The other player that had the kick was trying to get the guy on Walkerville to go back a bit. Allen glides by. Look at him, cheeky little thing. Pointing now. You go back there, mate, and make space for me. So he's still on his own here, Allen. 12th tree is a very good kick, but he's a fair way out, Peter. We saw him kick like this down the other end. This third kick, probably around this distance. And he's hooked that fairly well. No worries distance-wise, but offline to this side. You picked it early, Peter. That wind has dropped.
It has.
Not a breath, not a zephyr.
The intensity hasn't, Tony. This has been a really invigorating scrap from these two sides, and very, very seldom, and as I said, you've called lots of football. Have I called football where there's been mud? Haven't seen that very often. That was a poor kick. Disappointment and frustration. Now, I'm saying that there was no panic, but
Oh, a bit of holding
Pembroke
there.
back in towards full forward. The ball will bounce. At the attempted kick off the ground, wasn't successful. It's now going to be cleared. We saw 15 and 11. They were the two numbers for Pembroke. It was George and the other one there was Catford.
Yeah, we won't say who it is.
No,
but go on.
Short
You've done
pass.
fantastic there.
Good mark in defence is taken for Walkerville. That's going to be defended by Lincoln Blewett, whose kick is a little untidy, and they're calling for the ball to be kicked accurately. That was a disappointing disposal.
Seen a bit of that today. Is that our full back kicking that in? It is 12-3 again. He has got a great set of dukes. I was just going to say there, look how many players are down this end. There's no spaces to run into, but 12-3, he only had to move about 5 metres there. And if they put that in the air, he's going to outmark them. He's got a very good set of dukes. They're 10 points up on the scoreboard, 15 scoring shots to 10. 12-2 we just saw score a point earlier. So just comes in. Geez, very casual. That's all right though, who am I to say? So he has his second as well. As we said, they share the load, don't they? And Forster with 4, 12-2 with 2. So we're going to cross to our boundary rider as we're watching the replay.
Quarter, as we've seen, has been about Pembroke, and it's a reversal of the third quarter in terms of the pressure being applied. Pembroke doubling the amount of tackles that Walkerville have had. So a lot more pressure, and it's turned into a goal there, as we've seen.
Pretty much the name of the game there, Peter. And we saw Walkerville with a lot of tackles in the last quarter, didn't we? So back in the middle. Is that the one?
Well, it's a 16-point ball game again. That was the case at three-quarter time with an early goal in the last quarter to Spilios. And that resultant goal, the answering goal from 12-3. So it's as you were from what was happening at three-quarter time. For the Cats, they must kick the next goal. It's about as simple as that. But the problem is it's not simple. After a scratch around in the middle, it'll be a do it again. Players will be leg weary after today because of the mud. Getting in there, Harrison George, who's been busy right throughout this afternoon of his entertainment. Umpire is saying an over-the-shoulder call, I think. Yes, in the middle. And the kick will be taken for Walkerville by Tommy Sinclair. Down the ground towards centre half forward. No one can grab the ball. Hand pass was, well, it looked like a throw from here, but I'm too far away to see. Kicked across the face of the goal was being defended. Cats have it, and Cats run with it. Kick there smothered. That was going to be off the boot there into the forward line of Hutchings, but it's done well. Now the ball kicked across the centre half forward. Hand pass on. Kick towards full forward. It's pretty long, and I reckon pretty strong. And I reckon Daniel Wilford, let's have a look. Goal! Took the time, the goal umpire, to steady up, and he kicked that from a fair way, and he's kicked it through for the Cats' 7th goal from a distance, 7-4-46. Pembroke, 8-8-56, Tony. 10 minutes gone in the term, and we're back to a 10-point ball game.
Yeah, so we see the replay here, and Walkerville are pushing. So we've seen the replay, sorry, and 10 points in it. So, geez, ding-dong battle, it's what we've come for, and an absolute belter. So ball back in the middle, can Zwar get them going again? He's a monster of a man in there. Goes up well, look at him out of the middle. Oh, just slipping at the last minute, but good play there. And that was Kersner, one of the instrumental players. But Pembroke have answered, brought it back in again. Geez, Kersner, long handball out. That was clever because he knew the player was out there. Pembroke player now gets to it, keeps it in play. Oh, look how close they are there. So Iannucci was got the handball out. Just an easy tap over there by Isaac 12-3, who's also been very influential this quarter as the ball right in front of the Pembroke and Walkerville coaches. Well, we won't call them boxes, marquees. Reed goes up. See, the cream rises to the top. We said the better players play good in big games. That's how you want to be remembered. In it comes. 12-3 can't. Doesn't matter. Forster can. And that's a check side around the corner. Very clever kick. He's on 5 now. Thank you very much, Peter, because I'll tell you what, he's kicked 5 for the game. So I was going to say he'd been a bit quiet there just of recent times and imposed himself on the game. It's just this 16-point buffer, isn't it? It was 16 points at three-quarter time. Walkerville get back, Pembroke get back, Walkerville get back, Pembroke get back, and 16 points it is. So going ahead, can they hold on? 17 shots to 11.
And what we said at the start of the game, Tony, in our preview, the fact that Forster with 70 goals going into this game and 12-3 with 25 were the only two players with multiples for Pembroke, and that's the same today, just those two. Now, that's not a problem if you're going to get them to kick like that all the time. And we can tell you that Walker will go back into attack. Ryan boots it long in towards the forward pocket. And will this be a quick result by way of the other full forward, Adam Proud?
So that's that full forward shootout that we've been expecting.
Yeah.
Is happening.
So Proud.
I thought he was going to turn sideways. I thought, surely he's not going to, from that angle, go around the corner.
Oh, what's he going to do from out there? He's going to try and kick a goal. He needs to. It's about that simple. Proud, the big A, comes in, drop punt, kick at goal. Goal umpire says offline.
Okay. Very
and
relaxed.
Further behind.
Very relaxed form, didn't he? When he came in, he bent the knee, just sort of half poked it. Didn't want to make the other guys have to run too far to get it. So
No.
Oliver Harms bringing it in, Peter.
Yes, the disappointment. 7-5-47 to 9-8-62. 15 points the margin. The ball
now
is out of bounds.
Go on. Where'd that go? That's gone over the fence. Look.
Yes, it could have been. Now,
There's no
tell
gates,
me.
There'll be dogs. There'll be. We could be here at night. So look.
Now, you've got to tell our listeners, because you have the knowledge, and he's gone through the gate.
That's someone's house. The next 2 yards along, it would have been in the swimming pool.
Well, we don't want him being chased out by someone running out with a broom or something.
What's he doing behind the fence there, Peter?
I don't know.
He's washing the ball. He hadn't pulled his pants down there to pull.
No, you seem to be handling this situation quite well, Tony, so you go ahead with it.
Well,
will
trying
you?
to work out what he was doing in the backyard there. So, anyway, we've got it on film. I think he was drying the ball, to be honest. Maybe that's the luscious grass. They haven't mowed it down there. So, just where they've got a gate. No, good on him. And back in plays, he's had a good game too, Reece McKenzie. So, ball down in the forward line. Dangerous position for Walkerville. They need a couple, and they need them now, Peter. So, in the Walkerville forward line, up it goes. Big punch forward by Zwar. Inside. Look at the Pembroke numbers. Allen just dribbles it along. Back towards our backyard again. It's out on that far side. Bring it over this side of the ground, you blokes. We can't see that far. It's on the half-back flank for Pembroke, or the half-forward flank for Walkerville as we speak. There's no people in those seats down that end, but that'll be the only spot on the oval that's vacant, Peter, because up it goes. It's a swat. No fence around the oval. One of the little nuances I like about the Adelaide Football League, who has and who hasn't. Let's just see what this boundary up. Look at him spinning. He's an artistry man. Look at him. Big throw in. He's got it perfected.
He's heading to Tokyo. The way he's working over there.
Tell you what, out it comes. Can they get it clear, Peter? Pembroke, they can't. Oh, players. This is that tackling that we saw in the last quarter. Sean Kersner now, not rewarded by the umpire, but I'll tell you what, great job by the umpires today.
Yeah, they've been good. Let's say that it's been tough for the two teams, tough for all and sundry, but they've been very consistent. There's no doubt about that. The big swat there from Ryan Madden goes back in after it. Couldn't do as much as he would have liked to have done. Oh, there's a crunch tackle. Umpire's going to say it's all right. It's going to be picked up and snapped there by Hutchings across the face of the goal front. And it's marked in defence there by Carruthers. And all we need, Tony, is we need to have a Burke playing in this game, and then we'd be able to say with authority the ball's gone into Burke's backyard.
Oh, Peter.
I was waiting for that one. I'm a bit tired,
working
see?
well. Well, I'll just let you know, we haven't got a Burke. So it's this could be Oliver Harms. A long way out. Long kick. Oh, just 12-3, hasn't he taken some marks this quarter? He's having a great game. Oh, that left foot. He actually hooked that accidentally. Believe it or not, he's got 25. He's not going to be close enough, but he'll put it close for Forster. Plays on. That was touched. That's touched. That player doesn't realise that. He's just put that ball down right in front of the umpire there. I think the umpire might have given him a bit of kudos there because poor Reece McKenzie didn't realise that ball was touched. So up they go. Nicholas Worrell then looked at the opposition. Walkerville, he's done a hamstring right as he's gone for that. Jeez, and the crowd It's like he's been shot, poor old Liam Hayes. That's a horrible feeling. At the exact time, he's just going to come straight off, I think. They're all screaming. Over it comes. Well, they're one man down, and it's still not quite out. Adam Law, a little bit going on with Jack Green in back play here as it comes down the wing. He's had a bit of it this quarter. Damien Hutchings.
He's been all right, hasn't he?
Why would he waste the time of trying to run off all the way down there? He could have just walked off here and they could have a player on. Pembroke now on the far side. He doesn't look too good running on either. He might be a bit cold, I think.
Yeah, it's a strange one, Tony, from a distance, because Hayes didn't jog off, but he didn't look as if he was in total. Well,
Jimmy Allen's looking a bit fatigued.
Yeah.
Just quietly. He
got
maybe
there.
It was a touch of cramp there with.
He looked like he got shot just from
Hayes.
where we were out here.
Yeah, he just stopped, didn't he, after the ball? Thought the umpire blew his whistle. Look at that big throw in. This is going to be a dangerous position. Can they get hold of it? They can. Look at the strong tackling there. Adam Law again. And that was on Jack Green, who gave a little bit out earlier. A lot of players around the ball. Tapped down by Walkerville. Can they get out? They can. 38 is Tom Sinclair. Protect the space.
Good mark.
That's what it's about. Protect the space. That's Madden. Geez, he lifted the ball high there, didn't get hold of it in the end. And that's Oscar Switala. Had his moments today. Look at the space out here. This player's done this a couple of times today. That's Harry Roberts. Down the line he comes. Courage needed and a good mark, Ben Williams, who we saw go off earlier with the knee. Bit proppy there with the kick. Comes through Adam Zenny. They've got numbers here, Peter. Just onto the boot goes Harry Roberts. Big, strong body. Under it this time. Reese McKenzie. Bang. Jeez, that was a bit dangerous. Isaac 12th was taken out of that. So 22 there. A little bit of trouble getting up off the ground. He's putting his head in to Nicholas Worrell. Worrell now goes up. When I say goes up in the ruck, just goes forward and paddles it out. Numbers around the ball. Can't get his boot to it is Harrison George. Now he can. Nice kick in. Geez, I tell you what, Jake Ryan. I'll tell you what, the pressure's still on, Peter.
It is.
18 minutes into this quarter. Pembroke keep coming. Look at this. And that's front play. Adam Zenny. Can he put the nail in the coffin there? 15 points up. And he's going to take his time. Now, I can tell you, quite confidently, out behind that wall that you can see in the background there is a massive swimming pool. We used to have a lot of fun in that pool with tackling practice and so on. So the crowd is livened up. There's little bits and pieces going on. Ellen leads to the pocket. Just runs around a little bit. A little bit of a floater right in. 12 trees up. Geez. And Sean Kersner runs that ball through just about into the back of my car will do, thank you. Kersner now is... get it on, son. They're calling out to him. Gee, he's got a nice kick on him, hasn't he, Peter?
Everything now must go by way of the Cats at 100% because they can't kick goals at the moment. 9-9-63 to 7-5-47. The ball is out of bounds. Well, it's gone under a tree towards Burke's backyard, but there is a signal over there to say it might have skidded over and the boundary umpire might have to bring it back.
He's had a mighty game down there, Harms. I know Proud's kicked 2, and I thought he might have marked that. A little bit of a nudge there by the coach. Out it comes, and back around. And a good mark there to Pembroke. And the player getting up there. Geez, 12th tree. He's had a great second half. I think for consistency overall has been Harrison George.
They've had a few good ones.
So ball on that far side now. Just looking around here. Mitchell Curnow again, I reckon. So James Allen, he's had a fair bit of it, but easy possession. Out wide, no man's territory. It's not going anywhere there. He's actually trying to step out of the mud. Yeah, comes around, look at him. I reckon they just about put the cue in the rack. Adam Zenny, 20-minute mark. There could be 2 or 3 minutes left. Yeah, back it goes. Good at this. Make sure though. Well, it's in James Allen's hand. Make sure it's going to hit. Player out here. Leading wide was Heath Rusby. They've got a player right out wide. Player will get this back. Maybe Jake Vanderhoek. He does. So people say it's monotonous and boring football, but you want to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to do.
Well, they're the rules, Tony. They're the rules. If you don't like the rules, change the rules. So that's what I say.
Peter. Yep. Look at them streaming forward now, the big ruckman. Now, that's hard work. Last 20 minutes in the last quarter, you want to be running as hard as you can as you were in the first half. Not doing that, though, giving it up. Allen on the outside of the pack. He's been out there for a while. They come forward. Just pick the player out. Nicholas Worrell. It is right in front of the scoreboard there, and beautiful red numbers showing up now. 21 minutes, 59 seconds in. 9 goals, 9.63. 7 goals, 5.47 on the Sports Interactive scoreboard, creating better players, one coach at a time. Our game clock, of course, brought to us by Adelaide Starbus. On-time, stress-free travel as Worrell wanders in, close to the man on the mark. Got the outside of the boot. High. Forster rises up. Cannot take it. Player handballed into his own player. Bowled a player over. Handball's out of the square. Yeah, I thought it was a point. And you can't handball from there. A little bit of fun and games there, Peter.
Forster was pretty happy, not.
Yeah. So, Reece McKenzie.
He'll take the possession. 23 gone, final term. Pembroke will win. Short pass is all right. Marked there by a busy Wade Ryan with the beard on the left boot. Oh, his kick was disappointing because it went to the opposition. Now, short pass comes back into where the mark is almost taken by Blewett. Kick is good towards centre half forward.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, the kick was good, but the mark was even better, and the mark was taken by Nicholas Worrell.
And that's the dry weather football that we're seeing. We might not have seen a mark like that in the first quarter, but the last 3 quarters, it just slowly but surely dried out. And that was great, Dukes. I'll tell you what, the hard bit was when he landed.
Yep.
He almost slipped on the ankle there. So call it through for us, Peter.
Well, this is going to be a big win in the finish, because they are running away in this last quarter. Worrell drives hard offline and through for a behind the Pembroke, who've kicked 2 goals 4 in this last quarter to the Walkerville Cats. 2 goals 2, and they now move to 9-11, 65 to the visitors, the Pussycats, for Walkerville Cats, 7-5-47. We've gone 24 minutes. Won't be long to go in this scrap from the Haslam Oval.
And they've kicked 5 goals 6 in the last half to 5 goals 3. So there's only 3 points difference in the last half, as this is Reece McKenzie kicking in. It's just outside 50, and I'll tell you that the last 5 inside 50s have been Pembroke. Geez, he's got some good jets on him, has Sean Kersner. He's a very good player and very fast. Walkerville player couldn't quite get to it, mopping up Carruthers. He's had a pretty solid game. His skills weren't too good early on because it wasn't the best of weather. But, geez, I'll tell you what, he's had a lot of it, and well done to the young man. This player's given him a bit too. Harry Roberts, I reckon he'd come off the interchange bench. So there's the 6 inside 50. Worrell goes up, can't get his body up. It's actually still in play right in front of us, folks. Geez, Forster gives it off. They're running in 2s and 3s. Goes this way, that way. And an inside-out screwy to Harrison George. And I reckon he's our better player on the day anyway. And he's kicked his second, is it, Peter? Yes. So, of course, 2 goals there. When he gets it, they can't touch him. Look at him here. He dodged this way, that way, and then he says, well, I'm going to have to kick it myself. There were 3 of them there that could have. They raffled that. The chain of handballs, Peter.
Just thinking about when you were calling that so well, I thought, no iron team. It didn't matter who finished up giving it to him. And in the finish, Alex Forster was about the place, and he wasn't actually sure, Harrison George, whether it was a goal. And that's the sense of anticipation. The goal umpire got across, had a look. The signal went, yes, it's a goal. And the adoring fans here at the Haslam Oval will be able to celebrate very much so in about a minute or so.
And that was a hack forward by Bradley Zwar out of the ruck. So Walkerville haven't given up just yet. This is number 17, Daniel Wolford, who kicked the last goal forward, puts it into a good spot. Big pack forms. We need a crummer, but of course the Pembroke players are all there as well. And smiling there, you often see that in the women's football. Pembroke player, no sportsmanship needed there, doesn't help him up. Get up yourself, he says to Tom Sinclair. A lot of players still milling around. So I talk about this sticking to structures. The umpire actually throws that backwards a little bit. And that was Ryan Madden, the coach, trying to get around and getting that through. And that sunshine, Peter, to our left is absolutely sensational. Umpire steps back, throws it up now. Big crowd around the ball. Player goes down off the ball. Look at the tackling. That's one of the things that really stood out today, isn't it? A lot of tackling, and a lot of that tackling is stuck. It wasn't just a token, put an arm out.
No, it was a massive change in circumstances at the start of the third quarter, and then midway through the third quarter it was all over Red Rover because Pembroke have dominated and finished off the game in real style.
Yeah, and it's just that the players running back. There's no spite in the game.
No.
There's been, the odd little bit of niggle that you expect in football, but no real spite or anything. And a great brand of football. What a great advertisement for the Adelaide Footy League, these two teams. No abuse of the umpires today, which has been fantastic. They have done a great job, and there's been a bit of heat on just different things happening over the time. And great work, Worrell there, up in the put the big jukes up. So great job all round by both teams. They can walk off. Both teams can walk off with their head held high in their conduct as the rain comes down again, and the umpires as well should be congratulated. That's a strong mark for Jake Ryan. Right on the siren there, Peter, and there we have it. So 10 goals, 11, 71 to Pembroke, running over the top of Walkerville, 7 goals, 5, 47. It was 16 points at three-quarter time. It is now 24 points winners to Pembroke Old Scholars. That will do them the world of good, taking that towards the finals. I know there's 6 rounds. There's the rain's really streaming down now. Poor old Nick's got to get out there, and we're going to give our beanie, so the Dartfish beanie and also the Archie's thongs that are super comfy are going to go to Harrison George. But just at the moment, our score update, 10-11-71 to 7-5-47. Our goal scorers, as the rain pours, then look at it there, Peter.
Oh, look at the rainbow over there, Tony. Be romantic.
Oh, there we go. Pot of gold, and it's a pot of gold for Pembroke as Forster with 5, Mitchell Curnow with 1, Harrison George finished with 2, and fittingly that goal at the end there, and Isaac 12th tree. Didn't he have a good, very good last quarter especially?
He was good.
But last half, and then of course Walkerville, Ryan Madden with 1, Adam Proud, only the 2 today, Sean Kersner with 1, Daniel Wolford with 1, Wade Ryan with 1, and Paul Spilius with 1. So we're just going to wait for Nick now to get hold of Harrison George. What a day to win a pair of thongs, of course. So
you love this part of the day, don't you? You love it.
Oh, I tell you what, the Archie's thongs, as he wanders over, the guy that scored the last goal. Look, they're all coming with him, the whole team. They knew that we were on today, or they knew that they were on, and they absolutely loved it. So big win. Look at the boys there playing around. And where is Nick? I've lost him. They've tagged
He's at the
him.
back.
There he is. Out of all that green, blue and yellow comes Nick Cosme. Of course, Harrison George, a magnificent game and a four-quarter effort. And we'll go to Nick now.
Yes, boys, we're here with our Archie's player of the game, Harrison George. Harrison, tell us about a win like this against a quality opposition.
It's massive for us. We set ourselves a big week this week on the track, and we know how big this game is to set our season up for sure. So, very rapt to get the points by what we did as well in some pretty ordinary conditions.
And you guys did go down to them earlier in the year, but did that play any much of a psychological factor into the play?
Oh, no, not really. We want to stamp our mark on the competition, and we love playing the top teams, whatever the weather is. So we just really set ourselves to focus just on this game, and it ended up going all right.
And for yourself, what's the sort of things that you pride yourself on? You went forward, kicked a couple today, were very good through midfield. Take us through what you pride yourself on.
I guess probably my tackling pressure, and I was lucky enough to get forward and kick a couple of goals, which I never do. So I guess they were pretty ordinary, but I'll take them.
Well played today. I'll give you your prizes. You won't need the thongs, but put the bean in here as well.
Beautiful.
Well played.
Thank you. Cheers.
What size are you?
So there we go. We hear Nick asking what size they are. I don't think you'll
Give
need
them
them tonight, Nick, but probably a pair of Ugg boots. But well done. And well, don't we love to see that? All the boys there cheering him, and he's got the dartfish beanie and the thongs, and that's a whole team effort. Nathan Woods is in there as well. So we'll come to our statistics here. An interesting inside 50s for that quarter were 10 and 10, and for the total on the day were 36 to 40. The tackling, interesting, Peter, 18 to 16 on the day and 75 to 88 overall, and that 75 was Pembroke, 88 to Walkerville. As I alluded to before, the more you have the ball in hand, the more times you're going to get tackled. And of course, our ruck taps, 8 to 9, 45 to 45. You wouldn't believe that. The ruckman may as well have not have played. 45 all. But I did think that Bradley Zwar really gave them some input in that ruck.
Yep.
Especially in that third quarter. Played a great game. And the other one was Max Reed. Well, he did a pretty good job. And listen to that song there. It's the old Richmond song.
Oh, I hear that.
There is someone close by that might have brought that into the club, Peter. But it's
is it you, was it?
Bring a tear to my eye. Well, it could have been.
You know, the one stat, and I should have got on top of this one, the Cats, I reckon they kicked the first 3 goals of the third quarter. And they started to fight back. Then they fell in a hole. And after that, it was 5 goals to 3. And that was the end of it. And once they got that run on, it was amazing. It was as if they found some smelling salts and got themselves going. And once they wrested back the initiative, it was Pembroke Kings, home you go.
And you were correct, because they kicked that 3 goals, 1 in that quarter, but it happened in about the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then what did they score? 2 goals, 2 for the rest of the game. And Pembroke just said, okay, I saw that 1 goal down the other end, and then away they went with it. So fantastic effort. So we'll have a look at our better players. And who do you think from Pembroke there? What are your thoughts?
Well, someone who kicks 5 goals and is someone that you look for at all times is the spearhead who dominates this competition. And Forster, without question, moves to 75 goals all up. He was powerful. James Anucci, busy, fast, accurate, and a real pain in the backside to the opposition, because when he got the ball, he ran. Loved the work of Harrison George. Also the performance of, you've got to give Jimmy Allen, even though he might not have been a total dominating person, every time he went near the ball, he was able to create some space, and he made his teammates stand a bit taller. He's done brilliantly.
Doesn't he know the ground?
Absolutely.
He just knows where to go, what to do, how to, he might be out wide and getting a kick, but he knows where to put the next one, third play.
And I just want to throw the other one in, and that's Isaac 12-3.
Yep.
See, when he got near the ball with that left boot, he was just about kicking the ball over into the parade. He was massive, and he was a good player too.
And Magnus Illman at times, number 87. We go across to Walkerville. So who have we got there? We got Adam Proud. I said that he only kicked the 2 goals, but he tended to be down the ground a little bit as well.
He looked dangerous, though. He looked dangerous.
Yeah, and down the ground he did a bit of work. Sean Curzon, number 11. He's got the fast feet, hasn't he? He's one of those. He's a bit like James Iannucci.
Yep, I'm glad you mentioned him, because he got mud on his back early, so we knew who he was when he ran away from us with number 11 on his back.
Yes. Jake Ryan, number 15. I had a mark next to him, and Bradley Zwar in the ruck. I was really impressed with him, and some second efforts. Once the ground dried out a bit, his second efforts were also very good. Was the big ruckman there, number 14. We go down. Reece McKenzie at times, number 22. I mentioned him a fair few times. Paul Spilios just started to impose himself on the game along with Hutchings. I tell you who started out really well was Lincoln Blue.
We called him quite a bit early, didn't we?
We called him a fair bit there. So listen, folks, fantastic game that we've seen today. We're going to mention the Adelaide Football League Facebook page, because you can get all the game day results from 5 o'clock onwards down there. Also, next week's community stream, we'll come back to that in a moment, because we'll find out which game we're going to. Of course, there'll be anywhere between Division 2 and 7 for that game next week. And of course, Pembroke Old Scholars down here, that was fantastic. They've had the big win at home at Haslam Oval. of course, watching Between the Posts, that is filmed on through the week, and it has all the updates on all the football for the next week or so. Our game next week is Henley versus Glenunga. I believe that's Division 2, is it, Nick? Our band rider, very helpful there. So Henley versus Glenunga, that'll be a great game down there. Glenunga are going very well, and we'll all be down there next week. Who knows? Mixed bag with commentators. So we'll wait and see who we've got. And I think Jacko might be coming along to that one to sit on that one, Peter. So that'll be interesting, of course. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors, so just bear with us here. Villies, Interchanger, Sports Interactive, Adelaide Starbus, Dartfish, Catch.com, screaming good deals. And, of course, Filming Football, always helping us, filming footy, that is. Archie's Thongs and the Dartfish Beanie. And a special mention once again to the Simon Black Academy. They've been fantastic bringing all the replays today. We'd like to thank our production team. We've got a cast of thousands here behind the scenes. We're set up here, as you can see, in the grandstand. Great spot here, Peter. Fantastic.
Serious? I'm freezing.
Yeah, but we didn't get any rain. There's a hole in the roof to the right. No, it's beautiful in here. So thanks very much to our production team, and especially thanks to you, Peter, our commentary team members. So that's yourself and Nick. And it's been a pleasure working with you, Peter. I must say the last 2 weeks, we've had the women's football last week, and beautiful game to get into today.
It's a good reminder of those people who have access to what we try and do each week. This is country football. This is men's. This is women's. You're being taken to where the better players of today are going to be even better the following day, and I'm just so thrilled to be involved in what is a most professional presentation each and every Saturday afternoon.
Fantastic. And there we have it, folks. So Pembroke, the 24-point winners over Walkerville today. The battle of the top two teams. We thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next couple of weeks. Go, Peter!
Go, Sean Burgoyne!